It's like something out of a nightmare. A medieval saw on an ancient giant.
Oh, man, that is huge!
Brady's hot on the tail of the sawfish.
Oh, you touched your saw!
To find out why this saw is one of the most dangerous snouts on the planet, he'll plunge into this mystery and round up some oddballs of the fish world to hunt down clues in their bizarre snouts. All to answer a question. Why does the sawfish have a saw? As a biologist, Brady Barr has spent decades encountering some of the weirdest creatures on the planet.
Woohoo! We got an electric eel!
Studying a broad range of behaviors and adaptations, including unique weapons for survival.
Look at the beak! Look at that!
Spikes, fins, coils, fangs. However outlandish the body design, there's always a good reason for it.
It's all about form and function, but there's one that's so bizarre, so freakish looking, it really makes me wonder. It's the sawfish, with a nose like a hedge trimmer and a body that can reach lengths of 20 feet. I want to know why this fish looks the way it does. My investigation starts right now.
The sawfish is a rare, mysterious giant. Closely related to sharks, skates, and rays, it's an ancient cocktail of a creature, fusing a shark's tail with a ray's flattened body. But one thing makes this fish unique. Its super long snout studded with needle-sharp teeth, the saw. The fish has spent millions of years perfecting this body design, but no one knows for sure exactly what the saw is for, or why this fish needs teeth outside its mouth. The investigation begins in the only place in the U.S. where you can find sawfish. The first stop, Cape Coral, Florida. To link up with Greg Palakis and Amy Timmers of Florida's Fish and Wildlife Research Institute.
We're gonna set a net right over here off this point, Brady. We'll back the net up.
And how long is the net?
200 yards.
Their research site is a sawfish nursery, where Brady's hoping to see one of the rarest, weirdest, and most endangered fish on the planet.
Why are these sawfish here? What makes this particular spot special?
This is prime habitat for juvenile sawfish. They tend to like these shallow, sandy, flat areas associated with these, mangroves along the shoreline.
The sawfish is actually a ray, and like many rays, it breeds in shallow coastal areas like these mangroves. But although this bizarre fish can be found so close to people, very little is known about it. No one knows exactly how many sawfish still exist in the wild. Greg and Amy are trying to estimate the sawfish population by tagging juveniles in this nursery.
We got the net in the water, it's in position, now it's simply a waiting game.
They're looking for any small movement. The sawfish is a bottom dweller. Two holes called spiracles behind the eyes pump water over its gills so it can breathe even when it's motionless on the sea floor.
It's a bird on here.
There might be a sawfish in the net and they'd never know it. So Greg and Brady are going to check.
Woo! So we do need to try to keep an eye out for stingrays.
Absolutely. Do the stingray shuffle, Brady. Shuffle your feet.
Through the sand?
Yeah, it's not foolproof, but it does help to avoid an interaction with one of those.
Stingrays are flat as a disc and hard to spot. But if you step on one, it can stab you with the poisonous barb on its tail.
Have you stepped on one before?
Yeah, I got nailed one time.
Did they have to remove the barb? Was it stuck in you?
Had to have an operation and whatnot. But...
Oh, gosh.
And there's another sawfish relative out here, bull sharks.
There's a lot of juvenile bull sharks. It's a nursery area for them as well, so keep an eye open for them.
That's great. So we got stingrays, bull sharks, sawfish. Probably gonna tell me there's jellyfish in here too. Oh, See it?
They've just found their first catch of the day.
It's a sheep's head. It's a fish. Yeah, I forgot to shuffle my feet over here. And they have got teeth. I mean, they're almost like human teeth. And what do these things eat, do you know?
They eat a lot of oysters and, you know, hard prey like that. That's why their teeth are like that.
I don't want to be bitten. Whoa! Wait, look at those. Look at those teeth. Is that the goofiest looking fish? Look at that. That looks like some of my relatives down in Texas. All right.
Sawfish were once so abundant, they were a common catch for fishermen all along the coast from the Carolinas to Texas. But commercial fishing and trawling, starting in the 1960s, wiped out entire sawfish populations.
You know, it was a bycatch issue for them. You know, they were trying to catch other fish, you know, that were commercially valuable to them. And, you know, as you can imagine, the sawfish even think about getting near a gill net.
Oh, swimming around with a big saw on your nose. You're gonna get caught in any net, any little piece of net out there.
This overfishing, along with habitat loss, may have killed up to 95% of small-toothed sawfish. Today, the fish is on the U.S. list of endangered species.
Is it safe to say there isn't a lot known about this species in terms of life history or biology?
Yeah, absolutely. No one ever studied them when they were abundant, so we're trying to learn as much as we can with the population that's left here in Florida.
The fish's saw, or rostrum, is still a big mystery, even to scientists. The goal is to piece together whatever is known by watching the saw in action.
Look, right there. There's something in the net, right there, see it? That's a sawfish. Look at that.
It's a newborn, barely 2 to 3 weeks old, but it's already armed to the teeth.
Those teeth are needle sharp.
There's a reason these teeth are outside the fish's mouth. They're not teeth at all. They're modified scales.
Now that thing, it can lash that saw back and forth, right?
Yeah, they're pretty strong side to side, so we'll just try to be careful.
Whoa. There it goes, right there.
It looks tough, but the saw is actually quite flexible. That's because sawfish have no bones. Like sharks and rays, their body is all cartilage, the stuff that makes our noses stiff, but also flexible.
Wow, that's incredible. I had anticipated it being very rigid, very hard. The platypus bill is flexible like that.
It uses its long, leathery muzzle to grub around rocks for prey. Here's the first clue to what the saw is for. A baby sawfish starts fending for itself almost immediately after birth. Some scientists think it uses its flexible saw like a platypus to root out shrimps and crabs on the sea floor.
This is kind of like its own little swimming pool here in the back of the boat. That's awesome. I mean, it doesn't look stressed out. And now that the guy's swimming, you can really see that he is built for an existence on the bottom. That flattened body, that saw that goes right along the bottom. I mean, that's what it's all about. It's just kind of forging around on the bottom.
Even on a baby, the saw is key to this fish's survival. It's an ideal tool to grub for food, especially in these first few weeks of life. By injecting a pit tag, Greg will follow this baby's progress in the coming months.
And a pit tag, it's like a grocery store scanner.
Yeah, unique number for each fish.
Doesn't really hurt the animal yet. It's a permanent way of marking the animal. You know, those young kids are all about piercings.
Tracking these juveniles will help Greg identify their habitat range.
Here we go, right here.
Time to release the baby sawfish.
Hey, you got a sawfish. How big is it? 5 feet.
Greg's colleagues have netted a larger sawfish down the bay. At the location, the team checks the net.
What's that? Oh,
Just an oyster. Not a whole lot bycatch-wise, but
Right here, right here, right here. Big splash.
In there, it's
That
in
is
there good.
big. Man, that is a good one. That's big. Careful, 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 careful. Hang on, hang on, hang on.
The second sawfish of the day, about 6 feet long and with teeth to match.
I guess I would prefer to be down here on the less toothy end, and I'll hold him, and maybe you can try to get him out.
You're not scared, are you, Brady?
Well, I'm not scared, but I'm not stupid either.
And what we'll do is I'll get my gloves on and we'll just we'll walk this net right off this rostrum.
This is incredible, man. This is a big fish. This is probably 2 meters. This is maybe a 6-foot sawfish. Can you imagine one of these that's 18 or 20 feet long and maybe weighs over 1,000 pounds? Oh, hey, he's moving, he's moving. Come on, how long does it take to get some gloves? Those are some serious teeth. So that's about the size teeth you'd find on about a 6-foot croc.
No wonder Greg's putting on reinforced gloves.
The teeth are really sharp, so it really helps us handle the animals safely. They play possum, you know, they're really mellow.
Yeah.
And then just all of a sudden, they'll just kind of go side to side, so you really need to pay attention.
Crocs do the same thing. They'll lull you into a false sense of security. You think, oh, this animal's scared, I'm gonna kind of loosen my grip a little bit, and just as soon as you do, bam!
After years of working with crocs, Brady knows their danger zone. A croc can strike in a surprisingly wide arc. Its head can swing over 90 degrees, and it often uses this maneuver to ambush prey. Brady doesn't realize it, but he's about to step into the sawfish's danger zone.
I've been bitten by some big pythons before, and they don't have teeth, anything like this. I think this thing would just tear you up. Okay, now we're gonna go up and over. 1, 2, 3. Let go.
Get you?
You got me.
You all right?
Just that quick.
Brady's lucky. It's just a scratch.
Didn't take long.
I mean, I think I just took one tooth. Need to be careful when we're gathering data on this guy.
It's evident how the sawfish uses its saw as a deadly weapon. It swings that toothy rostrum sideways like a croc. In this case, it was a defensive swipe. But research suggests it also uses it to kill prey.
Do they use it to slash through schools of fish and maim prey? Is that?
Yeah, I've seen them do that myself, and I've talked to a lot of guides that have seen them chasing, you know, bait fish, so they definitely use it for that.
Many fish species use parts of their bodies to herd or slash prey. A thresher shark uses its sharp tail to stir up the water, trapping fish in a giant whirlpool. A sailfish uses its spear-shaped upper jaw to bullet through schools of fish. And recent lab experiments reveal that a sawfish uses its saw in a particular hunting technique. It moves in sudden bursts, swiping its saw to stun and maim prey before returning to swallow it whole. It doesn't have the sailfish's blinding speed, but it uses its rostrum with great accuracy. It'll even skewer individual fish on its teeth, scrape the fish off, and suck it into its mouth.
I got it.
You ready?
Yep.
Now that Greg's tagged the fish, it's good to go.
Let's go. And back in the water. Whoa! Yeah. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, yeah! Man, I'm into that. I got sawfish fever. It was just great. And that rostrum. Man, that has got to be one of the most bizarre appendages in the animal kingdom.
As bizarre as it looks, the sawfish's saw is actually one of the most evolved body designs in the fish world. Some scientists think that when the first sawfish ancestors grew a snout, they didn't have teeth. It took at least 100 million years to create the first toothed saw, but it had replaceable teeth, like sharks. The current saw has evolved to hold needle-sharp, permanent teeth that grow with the fish. Brady's finally beginning to understand why the fish has spent so much time honing this body part. The sawfish uses its saw to dig prey out of the seabed. And it can be a weapon for defense and attacking prey. But could the fish be using it for much more than that? In many animals, the snout plays a vital role in sensing. And the longer the snout, the more sensitive it usually is. An elephant's trunk can detect water 12 miles away, and an anteater smells 40 times better than we do. So could the sawfish's long snout be more than just a weapon? Could it also be a sensory organ? To find out, Brady will explore a different fish, one that has a snout loaded with almost every sense organ in the fish world, the white sturgeon.
For the next phase of my investigation, I've come to the deepest gorge in the States, Hell's Canyon here in Idaho, and I'm in search of the largest freshwater fish in North America, the white sturgeon.
The sturgeon and the sawfish have plenty in common. They're both ancient fish, swimming since the time of the dinosaurs. They're both big, growing close to 20 feet, and built from the same stuff, cartilage. And they're both bottom dwellers, living in murky waters, hunting similar prey with their long snouts. By learning how the sturgeon's snout works, Brady will get an insight into how the sawfish's saw works. And Brady's in the right place to do that.
Awesome.
The Snake River is legendary for its sturgeon fishing. Joe DuPont from Idaho Fish and Game monitors the sturgeon stock in the river. He and Brady are going fishing to get a close look at the sturgeon's sensory snout.
Believe it or not, these little fish here really go after this.
Really?
Yeah.
When you're going after a monster-sized fish, you need monster-sized equipment. For a weight, we're using a railroad spike, and we're using a big circle hook. We're gonna bait it with a fish head that's been cut from the rest of its body to give it some nice scent, and hopefully the sturgeon will home in on that. And here before long, we'll have a giant fish.
Excellent. Right there in the honey hole.
Like sawfish, sturgeon use their snouts to hunt for prey. They'll gulp down anything, from dead fish to shrimp and snails. With 2 lines in the water, it doesn't take long.
Woo!
You got him or?
We got him. Are you kidding? Yeah, we got him. Fish on, baby! That was quick.
Yeah.
All that sturgeon fishing was tough.
4 or 5 footers, my guess.
Yeah, white sturgeon. First 10 minutes. I mean, this is all right.
Brady's first sturgeon offers the chance to see how unique this fish is. It has a streamlined, shark-like body, a strange whiskered snout, and bizarre body armor. 5 rows of bony plates called scutes run down its back.
And they're actually a little hook almost on top.
So I guess when these guys are smaller, it helps protect them from being eaten by bigger predators.
Joe and his team are documenting the damage done to the sturgeon by certain kinds of fishing hooks.
There's metal.
So there's,
Yep.
wow, so that means that there's a hook or a weight or something
Yep.
inside of it.
The circle hooks that Joe uses snag the fish at the mouth, but are easily removed. But by x-raying the fish, Joe's identifying the kinds of hooks that get embedded deeper inside. While they're still scanning the fish,
Oh, look right over there. Wait, right here.
a hit on the other line.
Oh, you feel that?
They were gonna hit here, so.
Oh, yeah. That's got some weight behind it.
This time, it's big.
Look at that rod. That is a stout rod, too, and it is doubled over. I'll tell you, I fished all over the world, and I've caught a lot of different different types of fish. And I can't remember a fish that felt as heavy as this. You know, and it's almost like a, I'm gonna do whatever I want. Let's see if you can hang on. I mean, it's a slow, methodical run. He's still taking line out. Look at that. I mean, he's been taking line now for 3 or 4 minutes. Man, that is unreal how strong that fish is. Oh, it's a push. Ancient fish and me with an ancient back. You can really feel the power. I can just feel that tail hitting the line.
Circle. That one right there.
You know it's a big fish when you've been fighting him for about 15 minutes and you haven't even seen him. Look, he's under the boat. Remember, that was a bad sign in Jaws when he was under the boat. Oh, there he goes, another run. Oh, 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 oh. Are you sure this is a fish? Oh, he is coming up. I see him, I see him. Oh, he's huge. Look, he's a monster. Did you see him? God, I just saw a big white apparition come out of the abyss. Good gosh, there he is. Oh my gosh, look at the size of that thing. Oh!
Guys, that's sliding on into this.
Don't lose him. Come on, you guys are toying with me. Get him in the cradle. Is it a capture yet? Woo! It's a capture! Woo, man! That is something. Giant white sturgeon here on the Snake River in Idaho. If it gets any better than this, I'd like to see it.
Joe and his team haul the fish into a sling to reduce stress.
Oh, that thing's gotta be 200 pounds.
What we're gonna do is put this hose in its mouth.
It's gonna put water over its gill so it can breathe. Boy, you gather your data.
First, the team needs to measure the fish.
You want me to go to the tip of the snout?
Yeah.
I got it.
Look at him cutting the corner there.
230,
230?
91 inches.
90, yeah. Right
A
at 8
hair
foot.
under 8
We will
feet.
call it, and that's an 8-footer.
That's the biggest fish I've ever caught.
This
How
is-
old do you think this fish is?
Oh, my guess is it's around 60 plus years old. 10 footers are 110 years old.
So this is a very long-lived animal.
This is.
Joe scans the fish for embedded hooks.
What's a
Maybe
good
not.
sign? I like to think that there aren't hooks inside the animal.
This fish seems metal-free. Now that Joe's got his data, Brady can explore the fish's snout and sensory systems for clues to the sawfish's saw. Up close, a big surprise.
That is unreal!
No, that's- they
I didn't know it would come out that far.
pull it out, pull
Check
it.
this out. Oh, it's like a protrusible.
The fish's mouth is like a giant vacuum cleaner.
That's how they kind of suck things off the bottom.
So no teeth in this mouth. So it's all just suction power. They find something that smells and tastes good, then they use that suction power and just suck it right up.
Yep.
That's incredible.
The snout also has 4 whisker-like feelers lined with taste buds outside its mouth.
Look at the size of those barbels. I mean, those things have got to be 3 inches long. I didn't know they'd be so rigid. Look at that. Yeah, so there are chemosensory organs all over these barbels, and they kind of use them as feelers. And they root around on the bottom, and if these barbels pick up a nice taste, then that big sucking maw goes into work.
And you're actually missing yet another one.
Joe points out tiny pits all over the fish's snout.
Each one of these little pits is a electroreceptor.
That's right.
So they're picking up electrical signals from their prey.
These pores form a network of jelly-filled canals lined with electroreceptors. They're arranged along the lateral line system, another set of sensors that detect vibrations and movements in the water. The electrosensors give the sturgeon a sixth sense, detecting the electrical currents given off by all living things and helping it zero in on prey. Taste, smell, touch, even an electrical field sensor. No wonder the fish looks the way it does.
A lot of people would say it's a hideous looking fish, and I think it's hit on a very, very successful body design. And it hasn't had to change over time, but man, I think it's beautiful in its own sort of peculiar way.
it's time to let the sturgeon go.
How far are we going with her?
Right there.
Look at the size of that thing.
You want to get a picture?
Are you kidding? The biggest fish I've ever captured?
All right, so turn it
Yeah.
over.
Ready?
All right, go ahead. And load
That's 200 pounds there.
it. Go ahead and grab the tail. if you want.
Whoa! Come on, big mama. She's swimming. Let her go.
Yep.
There she goes. Wow, she took off fast. Yeah! Giant white sturgeon on the Snake River right here in beautiful Idaho. That is incredible.
The sturgeon has spent millions of years honing a pronounced snout loaded with sensory systems. This design allows it to hunt in murky waters. It suggests the sawfish with a similar lifestyle could also be using its peculiar snout to sense prey. But would it give the sawfish any advantage to have sensors sticking so far out in front of its face? To answer that question, Brady's going after one last unusual fish. Found in a deep, rocky reservoir called Grand Lake in northeastern Oklahoma.
We need to look at one more freaky fish, an animal almost as weird as the sawfish itself. It's the paddlefish. It could be the key to understanding the sawfish's bizarre snout.
The paddlefish could provide the missing piece of the puzzle. Like the sawfish, it has a rostrum extending way out in front of its head, flat and made of flexible cartilage. It's like a sawfish rostrum, minus the teeth. The paddlefish suggests a super long rostrum is useful even without the teeth to skewer prey. Discovering how the paddlefish benefits from its lengthy snout could shine a light on why the sawfish looks like it does. Brent Gordon catches and tags the paddlefish to keep track of the population.
Just trying to pull the net tight.
Although paddlefish are on the decline in other parts of the U.S., they're thriving in this well-preserved ecosystem. All Brent needs for his research is a long, sturdy net.
And the idea is they're just going to swim into our net. We're going to come back here later and hopefully have some paddlefish in the net.
Unlike sawfish that are sluggish bottom dwellers, paddlefish are constantly on the move, near the surface of the water.
Paddlefish is just swimming with its mouth open. It's just
Yeah,
cruising
they're
around.
just feeding machines. You know,
That's what
they're
my
just
wife says
filtering
about
it.
me.
Yeah, and that's what they do. They just swim around and feed.
They constantly swim. They never stop. They always swim. And if they're swimming, they're eating.
Right.
And they're eating zooplankton, very, very small animals, water fleas. They're called Daphnia. But those small organisms are very high in nutrient value, which enables them to grow to such great sizes. I mean, this is a huge freshwater fish.
Yeah, it's second largest in Oklahoma.
You're talking about a 7 or 8 foot long freshwater fish, which feeds on tiny, tiny organisms.
Brady's hoping to see one of these monsters up close.
Now, will you feel them pull? Will you feel the
Yeah,
weight?
you'll eventually feel them if they're in there. But we got a fish in here.
You do? Can you feel it pulling?
Yeah.
I don't feel it. I think there's something right there. We got fish! That's a big one!
It's a good sized one. That's one.
Oh, look at the size of that thing! That's good! Oh, yeah, look at that! Ready?
Well, I can't.
Man, that's a killer! That's heavy! Oh! Come on, what's going on back there?
I'm not helping you much.
Oh! Oh! That is a spoonbill paddlefish there. That is great. Oh, and these are pretty hardy fish. Having them out of the water like this really doesn't hurt them.
They seem to withstand that stress very well.
Yeah. There it is, man. My first paddlefish.
It's like looking at a piece of living history.
God, it is such a freakish looking fish. This is an ancient fish, right?
Very prehistoric fish. They've evolved very little from the Jurassic period.
In fact, this fish species is far older than the dinosaurs. And it survived for so long because of a successful body design. Like the sawfish, it has the boneless skeleton, the shark-like tail, the long snout. But open its cavernous mouth, and it's a whole different fish.
You see this giant gaping maw that it has. These guys are filter feeders. They swim through the water column with their mouth open and just let water come into their mouth and out their gills. And they have these structures in their gills called gill rakers that filter out the plankton. Wow, look at that. Oh, I didn't know they were that long. Yeah, it's like teeth on a comb. It looks just like whale baleen. It's like a freshwater whale. It's like a baleen whale here in a freshwater riverine system.
Baleen whales, whale sharks, basking sharks. Some of the biggest fish in the ocean are filter feeders. Their massive gill rakers act like giant sieves, filtering the plankton out of the ocean water. The paddlefish has successfully adapted this body design to its freshwater habitat. So how does this filter feeder use its paddle? And what can it tell us about the sawfish's saw? The paddle has the same tiny pits found on the sturgeon's snout. Except here, they extend far out along the bill.
These black spots are the electroreceptors, and I see that the bill's covered in these electrosensory organs. They seem to be most concentrated along the periphery. They have a very dramatic swimming motion where this bill is swung side to side. They're using that as an antenna. So they're picking up this minute electrical field from these zooplankton. It's just beyond belief.
But how does it help the fish to have so sensitive a paddle? Michael Hoffman, a paddlefish expert at the University of Missouri, has found one good reason. Michael's experiment is simple. Several juvenile paddlefish in a tank, an electric wire in the water, an on-off switch. But the results are astonishing. When the switch is off, the fish swim by the wire with no reaction. But then, Michael runs a current of less than 1/millionth of a volt through the wire, the kind of weak electricity given off by tiny zooplankton. And this time, the fish attacked the wire. The electrosensors on the paddle, far out in front of the fish's face, detect prey early, giving the fish extra time to react and zero in.
It's like an early detection system.
Yep.
That, hey, there's prey close by, and as it swims a little closer, bam.
Once they pick that up, that's the direction they go.
This superb sensory system has helped paddlefish thrive in this plankton-rich lake. And by tagging all captures, Brent's tracking the fish population to prevent any overfishing. The paddlefish's super long snout acts both as an antenna and an early warning system. But is the sawfish using its saw the same way? Sawfish researchers at the University of Queensland put this idea to the test. And sawfish do react to an electric wire, almost exactly like the paddlefish. Electrosensors on the sawfish's saw act as an early detection system, helping it hunt with precision. As the fish sweeps its super long saw across the seafloor, the electrosensors scan a wide arc, picking up even the heartbeat of buried prey. The saw is not just a bizarre body part. It's actually a magnificent multi-tool. A dangerous weapon, a sensory antenna, and an early alert system. But so far, Brady's only seen this extraordinary saw on a juvenile. Sawfish grow huge, with big saws to match. To complete his investigation, Brady's going to find an adult sawfish in the wild. Brady's heading to the untamed and unspoiled Andros Island in the Bahamas to meet marine biologist Dr. Dean Grubbs.
Just look at it.
Dean's been working with the sawfish recovery team to satellite track the movements of adult sawfish in this region. His work will give Brady the best shot at encountering a giant sawfish up close and personal.
Dean, you've heard that this may be the best place in the world for big sawfish.
Andros is supposed to be the hot spot, man. We hear reports here of animals over 16 feet long.
We're in a really remote place, which is always good. There aren't many places you can go in the world and not see another boat anywhere on the horizon, so we're gonna need a
Big,
lot of
strong
luck.
animal.
But if there was ever a place to find one, it's right here.
Instead of baited lines, Dean has a search boat out. A few miles upriver, they're visually scanning the bay for adults, while Brady and Dean check these narrow inlets.
You see little mudded areas too. That's the other thing to look for. So that's usually either a stingray or a sawfish.
They're looking for any big shadow in the water.
They can't right
Oh,
there,
so
right
that's,
through
man,
it.
I thought it was vegetation, but it's a ball of
No, it's a
fish.
Big ball of fish.
That's incredible.
Although the water is shallow and clear, it's difficult to spot a sawfish.
But the problem is they blend in so well with the bottom, and they'll take on the color of the bottom to some degree as well.
Another thing that makes it difficult is out here we got big sharks, big tarpon, big rays. There's a lot of things that look,
Turtles, permit. I mean, there's just
give
so
you
many
silhouettes
things.
that look like the sawfish.
There's just so many targets to go check out.
Yeah.
You know? When you want to see a sawfish, everything looks like a sawfish.
I know.
As the boats close in, the team spots something big in the water.
He's pointing, it's right out here somewhere.
I'm gonna get the net ready.
Oh yeah, I see it. It's big.
Judging by the shadow, this time it does look like the
see
big
it? It's
fish
big.
they're after.
How can you tell, man?
It looks like a stingray.
Okay, now what's the plan, Dean?
What we're gonna try to do is just keep it between the boats and keep it going in here in the shallows.
Okay.
When we get it in shallow enough, then we'll jump in with these nets and try to get
Look,
it.
he's turning. He's turning. That thing is really big. I mean, yeah, you talk about primitive, man, that thing looks like it's something from Jurassic Park.
It's a giant sawfish.
Man, we are looking at an incredibly endangered animal. It's such a rare treat just to even see this animal in the wild. If we're lucky enough to actually capture it and put our hands on it, man, it's gonna be a dream come true. Oh man, that is huge!
That's big, but
That's
he's
big. Watch
turning.
out,
He's
watch out,
turning.
he's turning.
It's Grant. Head him off. Head him off.
It's right here.
All right,
he's turning
slow
back.
down.
The fish has sensed danger and is trying to break out to deeper water.
We got to try to herd him into the shallows. We got to get him in shallower than this. This is too deep to.
He's coming. He's still coming deep. He's coming right towards us.
Come on, Brady.
Dean's going to keep blocking her, steering her back the other way.
She's under us. She's under us. Dean said the plan is we're going to hopefully try to get close enough to either get his saw caught in this net or this on his tail.
Right now.
It's almost impossible for me to believe that we're going to be able to capture a free-swimming fish who may be 13, 14 feet long with a dip net like this, something I use in my backyard to catch fish off my pier.
This is for salmon.
Well, I know. I don't understand. It just seems impossible to me. Man, he's fast. He's not going to let us approach him.
That's why we got to get him in shallow, where we're faster. We catch sharks like this all the time, big sharks, yeah, in the shallows. This is the technique.
Coming around the stern. I'm coming around the stern.
Coming to you, towards you, Grant.
Slow down, slow down. Come on.
She knows where shallow water is. This is a long haul. This is going to take us an hour to get him to the shore.
This is just stressful. I don't know if I can take an hour. I want him now.
Just real easy. The last thing we want him to do is to bolt.
They herd the fish back into the shallows.
This is looking good.
You don't think that you guys could ease in the water and...
I don't think we could walk as fast as she's swimming.
Close in now. Come on, sweetie, head left. This has absolutely become just a test of wills.
I just want to jump on him.
You know, it's whoever gives up first now, I think.
Keep going forward a little bit faster. Okay, slow down. No, turn it. Heads up, heads up.
The team has to wait until she slows down.
It's right there. Oh, you touched her. You touched her saw. Must be getting tired because she's letting us get closer. It's almost like she's trying to hide in the silt.
Yeah, she's getting tired. That big rostrum, she can turn that big body on the dime. She's going where we want her. Any minute now, we're gonna have a sawfish.
Now that she's tired, they begin closing in.
This is good. This is perfect right here. Just let her keep going. But keep the boats close together and try to stay on each side of her. We get the 2 nets on either side, and if just one tooth gets in this net, then it's over with. Like walking the dog.
There's your saw right there. Oh, man. She pulled her saw up and over the net. That was incredible. I mean, we had a net on either side. She pulled it up, over, and then made an escape. That's incredible. You can just tell how sensitive that snout is. She barely detected the net and moved the other way. And that thing is just loaded with sensory organs.
Oh my God, we had her right there.
They're so close, and yet can't net her.
Scare her to our left, if anything. Watch out, she's right under the boat.
I almost had her in the net then.
I could see the teeth on the
yeah,
saw.
that
I mean, they...
close. So close. All right.
Oh my God.
Another foot and we would have had her right there.
So close. I mean, just...
Man, was she in your net for a sec?
Yeah, real close.
That was our chance.
Oh, yeah. He's...
Nice job, Grant. Think she's tired enough we can jump on each side of her?
This time, Dean and Grant will jump in to corner the fish. It's a one-shot deal. Grant has to lasso her saw before she swims away.
Back off, back off. Get it, Grant, get it, Grant. Can you get it?
Get it. Come on, get in front of her.
Got her.
Grant snared the saw and has to let her slow down.
Just don't want to damage the rostrum.
I got the rope on the tail.
The team has to quickly secure the saw and move her to the boat.
And if she tenses up, do not let go.
Don't you worry. Man, you talk about having a tiger by the tail. This is one delicate procedure. I didn't think we were going to do it. I got to admit, I had zero confidence.
With the sawfish safely secured, Dean can start collecting data.
It's a rare event to put your hands on a big sawfish. So anything we can find out about it is going to help better protect it, ensure its survival.
First up, find out exactly how big this giant is.
That sounds like a death wish to me. I mean, how are we going to do that?
We're gonna have to be really careful because she will absolutely buck and try to hit us with that rostrum. She doesn't like that though.
No. Well, the rostrum is very sensitive. I mean, it makes sense. Whoa, whoa, whoa! We got to hurry and do this. Man, my heart rate is just off the chart right now.
Right at about 10 feet.
Man, I guessed it was 11, and man, there were parts of that battle where I would have guessed it was 16.
The fish is getting restless, which makes what they have to do next even more dangerous. The usual way to age sawfish is by counting growth rings in their vertebrae. It's like counting tree rings, providing valuable data on an endangered species, but impossible to do on a living animal. Dean's colleagues are trying a bold new method to age the fish, but they'll have to take a tooth from the rostrum.
How do you get the tooth off?
We're actually going to use a small hacksaw.
Oh my gosh. I'm sure she's gonna like that.
Yeah.
You don't need a saw while you hold it?
If you want to.
Yeah.
Just stay right at the base of it.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Sawing a tooth may be a new and humane way to age the fish, but it's dangerous.
It's getting close. Got it! Woohoo! Still got all my digits and we got a tooth, baby. That was nerve-wracking. All right, here, take it before I drop it overboard. We are not taking another. All right, what next?
I'm going to have to get in the water to put a satellite transmitter on her.
This is the first satellite tag put on a sawfish in the Bahamas. That's right. That's really exciting, and an endangered species.
For the next 6 months, the tag will transmit data on the fish's movements to a satellite. Dean's hoping it will determine if the sawfish in the Bahamas are the same population found in Florida. Dean's findings could add to Greg's research. If they identify the full range of the sawfish's habitat, it'll be a crucial step in protecting the species. This investigation has given Brady a whole new appreciation for this freaky fish.
I mean, this is a dream come true for me, to reach out and touch not just an endangered species, but one that is fascinating and one that is very, very dangerous. I have as much respect for this rostrum on this animal as I have for anything I've come in contact with in the last 20 years.
You should have.
And you know what? We're all in one piece. I think we ought to cut her loose and let's get out of this before any accidents happen.
I agree.
This fish has one of the most original body designs on the planet.
Okay, now she's just held by the tail. Let her go?
Yep.
And the investigations helped unravel some of the mysteries surrounding its bizarre snout. The saw has helped the fish survive ice ages and outlive the dinosaurs. Unlocking its secrets could be the key to saving the sawfish. Sharks, the ultimate ocean predators.
When you talk about looking death right in the face, God.
Now Brady will decide which is the most dangerous.
That's literally half a ton of bite force from a 300-pound shark.
He and his team will perform a series of tests
Come on, bite, bite.
that'll land them in some risky situations.
Here we go. Whoa!
They'll put themselves within biting range,
There's got to be a lot of bacteria in there.
swim beside them, and take to the skies with high-tech equipment.
Oh man, that's perfect. Stay there.
What they capture could change how you think about the most notorious hunters in the ocean.
That shark just exploded out, completely cleared the water. Oh, look at that! We got two of them. Look at them. I thought the sharks were going to just slam into the boat.
The east coast of Florida, a prime feeding ground for one deadly predator, the bull shark.
I count 13 big bull sharks, all over 6 or 7 feet. Well, look at them all. I mean, that is amazing.
Reptile expert Dr. Brady Barr will explore what goes into the bull's attack.
I mean, they just all came in together like a phalanx, and they are getting fired up. All this action. Look at shark right below the boat.
Pull it in, see one just hit it.
Oh yeah. Look at that. One bite.
One bite.
Now, it's hard to even get a knife in this fish. You can see the individual teeth marks.
That could just as quickly be your leg.
Shark attacks on humans are rare, but most are carried out by just 3 species: the great white, the bull, and the tiger.
That is just a massive animal.
The great white has a reputation as the ultimate ocean predator. But is it? Brady will put all 3 species through a battery of tests,
Got it, we got a bite, we got a bite!
and that will be highly dangerous.
Come on, open your mouth.
Brady will look at how hard these sharks bite,
That's a huge bite. That's comparable to a great white shark.
the deadly bacteria they sink into their victims,
Good night.
and the different ways they hunt. The great white has a powerful weapon that many believe make it the ultimate predator. So Brady will use cutting-edge technology to capture breaches like never before.
Oh, that was awesome!
The results could challenge everything you thought you knew about these attacks.
I don't think that they're exploding out of the water and always getting that seal in their teeth.
Everyone knows the great white has a deadly arsenal. So how do the bull and the tiger stack up? First on deck, the species commonly considered the most aggressive.
The bull shark has got a really wide head, meaning it could have a tremendously powerful bite. Also, the bull shark is unique in that it can spend a lot of time in fresh water. Now the question is it more dangerous? I aim to find out.
The first test, bite force. Brady will have to get within inches of the bull's jaws to see if they're as powerful as the great whites.
That thing is strong, isn't it? They're called bull sharks because they're a lot like a bull. They're big, muscular, wide-bodied, barrel-chested, very, very powerful sharks, and that's why we're here.
Captain Mike Newman is an expert in finding bull sharks.
They'll start a frenzy now. Watch it. Oh, careful. It's just an aggression thing because they're agitated.
Bulls are relatively small by shark standards.
The bull sharks don't get huge. They top out at about 11 feet. But very strong-bodied, very powerful sharks.
Bulls can use sudden bursts of speed to attack almost anything that crosses their path. Other sharks, dolphins, sometimes even people. Peter Benchley based his novel Jaws on attacks that were probably the work of bull sharks, not great whites. But how much force is behind the bull shark's bite?
Oh, look at the size of that! That is a monster bull shark! That's gotta be close to 500 pounds. I mean, that's a monster. That's about the maximum size for a bull shark. So if you're in the water with one of these bull sharks and you see its back arched and those pectoral fins go down, man, you need to really be cautious.
If you would get in the water with this one right now, it would probably bite you.
Well, that's not gonna happen. We don't have to worry about that. We're staying on the boat. So the idea is you're just gonna pull the shark's head up out of the water and I'll stick the bite force meter down in there.
Exactly.
Probably easier said than done when you're talking about a 2, 3, 4, maybe 500-pound angry bull shark.
Over the years, Brady has measured the bite force of many animals,
95 pounds of force.
ranging from hippos to humans. He's even tested the great white shark.
I mean, 669, that is a heck of a bite.
669 pounds. That's the biggest bite force reading Brady's ever recorded from a shark. Can the bull shark beat it? The bull's got a wider head than most other sharks, including the great white. In shark anatomy, width usually equals muscle. More muscle could mean more jaw strength.
Come on, open your mouth. We got a bite, 616. Wow. 616, that's a huge bite. That's comparable to a great white shark. Look how wide this head is. The wider the head, the stronger the bite. Now this animal is only 7 feet long and we just got a bite which is over 600 pounds. I mean, that's one of the strongest bites I've ever recorded from a shark. Who's to say that's even a maximum bite? That might have been a weak bite for the bull shark. Unbelievable stuff.
616 pounds. That's like being pinned beneath a Harley Davidson. And when the bull's teeth sink into prey, they can do serious damage.
Bull sharks have very unique teeth. Broad triangular teeth on the upper surface, but on the lower, white at the base and narrow at the tip. Different types of teeth on the upper and lower. Man, that's exciting.
Like the great white, the bull's triangular lower teeth pin its prey, while its upper jaw moves out and down, delivering the full force of its bite. The bull has a lot of power in its wide jaws, but a single bite won't tell the whole story. Time to check another.
That's a big shark. Look at those teeth. Oh, 989 pounds. That's literally half a ton of bite force from a 300-pound bull shark. Ripped off all the waterproof housing on the bite force meter.
It's an extraordinary result, the strongest bite ever recorded from a shark. Any shark. The bull shark may be half the size of the average great white, but its wide head gives it a far stronger bite. Still, bite force alone won't determine which shark is deadliest. Sharks almost never attack humans. When they do, most people actually survive. But even if they make it out of the water, they may face a silent battle against infection. Victims can lose a limb, even die.
We're gonna get a bacterial sample from this bull shark. The idea is it's gonna bite onto this rubber slug, and any bacteria on its teeth will remain in the rubber.
This is likely the first time anyone sampled the bacteria from a live bull's mouth.
Come on, bite it, bite it. There we go. Oh, look at those teeth. Look at those teeth, man, it won't let go. Woo, that's a bite. Look at what it did to our rubber slug. Man, we've got some great bacteria in there. You can see the individual teeth marks there. We're now in business because we got bull shark bacteria.
That sample's going straight to the lab. It'll take time to get the results. Meanwhile, there's one more factor that could make the bull a deadlier predator than the great white or the tiger. Their attack strategies.
Big dark one. I think he's gonna get it. Ooh,
Let's see if we can get him to bite.
they're not really eating it. See that?
Yeah.
Bulls are known for doing the bump and bite, ramming into their prey and then biting it. It's considered one of the most aggressive sharks, and it has a bite force that's far higher than the great whites.
Oh! 989! Woo!
Then again, the bull doesn't strike so hard, it actually leaves the water. It's hard to believe any shark can match the great white's assault. New technology could capture the action and show this killer ambush from an amazing new perspective. But first, there's another shark that combines its own powerful assault and the great white size into a deadly combination. It's time to find the next candidate, a shark that could be the deadliest predator in the ocean. Brady's headed to Bimini in the Bahamas, where tiger sharks are often found. The tiger is known as the trash can of the ocean. It eats anything, living or dead. It can even crack the extremely tough shell of a sea turtle. Does that mean it's got a bigger bite than the other sharks? The answer could come in a surprisingly small package.
We're in less than 5-6 feet of water.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible to think there's going to be tiger sharks. Everything hanging around in this little bit of water.
Yeah, but we're not after the big ones. I mean, for our experiments, we want a smaller, 5, 6, 7, maybe 8-foot shark.
Shark specialist Ryan Johnson will help test a new way to calculate bite force. The plan? Use a small shark to predict the bite of a big one.
Did you see that?
Yeah,
I mean, I saw a white belly. There's something right there. Yeah, it's a tiger shark. And the better news is it's a manageable size. It's about this long. Perfect for our bite force experiment.
Brady and Ryan need a shark that's small enough to easily bring back to shore. They'll electrically stimulate its jaws to get a really hard bite. Then they'll use a formula to predict the bite for a much bigger animal.
Man, that's beautiful.
Ryan will haul the tiger onto the boat. It may be small, but it has a mouthful of teeth.
I'm nervous. This thing's got a mouth on it.
Come on, Ryan, get him.
Yeah. Carry him, Eddie.
Oh,
Yep.
did he get you?
Nah.
Oh,
Yep. Oh, this is tough stuff.
here, let me try. Let me have an attempt. 1, 2, 3. I got it. Yeah. Put him in there. Woo! It's a capture. That's good.
Good, man.
That's great, man. He's perfect size.
This shark could provide key insight into the tiger's bite. It's time to find out if the tiger is the ultimate predator. Dr. Dan Huber has helped develop a technique to calculate the bites of tiger sharks of all sizes.
Are we ready? Yeah.
We can send a mild electrical stimulus to the jaw muscles and get them to contract as hard as they can, and then we know definitively the maximum bite force of that animal.
Now the shark we're getting ready to do is a small individual, but if you do enough individual sharks, you can predict what a really big shark's maximum bite will be with your data set.
Absolutely.
So how big is the bite force of this tiger shark?
This is going to run water over its gills, and also it's got the anesthesia in there, so it's going to keep the animal nice and calm.
As the drug takes effect, Dan carefully preps the shark for the test.
Going in right at the front.
All right.
This plate's in good position?
I think we're good.
Okay, hit it. Oh yeah, look at that. That's a good bite.
There we go. That's
I mean, you see those muscles really contracted.
That's definitely a maximum contraction.
I mean, I could feel it really bit down. Okay, water.
And what was our measurement that time?
18.5.
18.5 pounds.
18.5 pounds.
Now, for a small shark, that's not that unexpected. But as the sharks get much, much bigger, what we find is that their bite force increases a lot faster than the size of their body. So as we zoom this guy up, its bite force gets higher, faster than it grows.
Based on the results, Dan projects that a 10-foot tiger shark would have a bite force of about 350 pounds. That still seems small. That's not even half as strong as the bull shark's bite. And bulls aren't known for breaking through turtle shells. So how do tiger sharks do it? First, the team plans to confirm Dan's numbers. They'll measure the bite of an actual 10-foot tiger shark.
Man, look, we got sharks all over the place. That's a big lemon shark, and the tiger shark's over here behind us. Let's get kitted up before this tiger shark buggers off.
Yeah, I think a big part of it's going to be trying to keep those lemon sharks off.
This time, the test will take place on the tiger's own turf, underwater. With the bite meter prepped, the team heads into the tiger's lair. It doesn't take long before they find what they're looking for. A tiger shark, about 10 feet long. Now Brady and Ryan have to get close enough to measure its bite.
And there are sharks everywhere. This cannot be good.
The lemon sharks all around will make their job difficult.
Whoa! This thing is nipping at my flippers. Ryan, hey, watch out, watch out. No. Oh, he's taking the bait. Oh, he took the bait off of it.
Without the bait, there's little chance of getting a tiger bite. As Ryan heads up to get a freshly baited meter, Brady's surrounded.
This is crazy dangerous. Man, I got sharks all over the place.
In the coastal waters off Bimini, Brady tries again to measure the tiger shark's bite force. He fights off the lemon sharks. And Ryan Johnson returns with a freshly baited bite pole.
Okay, hang on, here he is, right here. That's the shark. That's him. Come on. Man, that thing is huge. All right, come on, baby. Come on, come in. Bite it. Oh, we got it. We got a bite. That is a big bite. 419. That is 419 pounds. Woohoo! Now let's get out of here before they bite us.
That's more than the bite force experiment predicted, but it still seems small. Can the tiger shark really bite through a turtle shell with just 400 pounds of pressure? Dr. Dan Huber has a plan to find out.
So what we've got is the fresh shell from a loggerhead sea turtle and then a bronze cast of a portion of a tiger shark's jaw. And this whole setup is mounted in a hydraulic piston. And as the piston comes down,
we're going to get an estimate of the force required to cut through this shell, which should give us a really good idea of how a tiger shark is performing in the environment.
Dan turns on the machine, and the tiger jaw starts digging into the shell. But even with 1,100 pounds of force, the shell holds strong.
So it took so much force to cut through this sea turtle shell that the machine actually shut down. That was greater than ½ a ton of force.
It seems unlikely the tiger can bite with more than ½ a ton of force. But somehow, it breaks through turtle shells. There must be another piece to this puzzle. It could be the tiger's teeth.
I mean, those teeth are just like teeth on a saw. I mean, it's just incredible. See that? Very uniquely shaped teeth.
They're shaped like serrated can openers, beautifully adapted for cutting. They pin their prey with their lower teeth, while their loosely attached upper jaw slides back and forth, cutting like a saw. The combination of those curved teeth and the way they move allows the tiger to cut through turtle shells, despite its relatively weak bite. The tiger's unique bite could have another advantage, driving bacteria deep into its prey.
If shark bites or anything like croc bites, bacteria is the problem. I mean, those teeth drive that bacteria really deep down into the wound, and you don't know what types of bacteria you're dealing with. Very, very hard to treat.
Just like sharks, the mouths of crocodiles are crawling with deadly germs.
Look at that!
And Brady studied another reptile that has a mouthful of bacteria. The Komodo dragon.
That's the most unbelievable, horrific thing I think I've ever seen.
Their saliva is so toxic, it's often lethal to their prey. Now Brady and Ryan will collect bacteria from a living tiger shark.
We gotta be getting close to something.
They're hauling in long lines to catch another tiger, and it's a big one, over 12 feet.
Dang. Check the shark! Go to the shark! Go to the boat! Woo! That is nice. Look at that. That's good stuff. That's a big animal. All right.
The tiger shark devours virtually anything. And that means its mouth could harbor some deadly bacteria. How deadly? A sample should provide the answer, if they can get one.
So the plan is, I'm gonna flip the shark over, grab his stripe, try to open his mouth, and when this gets in, then I think we're just gonna both work together, close it down, and try to get the teeth on this. Okay, and the teeth will go in here, and thus the bacteria will be trapped in the rubber slug. Okay. Okay, you got it? Let me bet I've got 1, 2, yeah, 3. It's just hard to see them in the rubber slug, but yeah, they went deep. Okay, so now you gotta sleeve that up. We got bacteria trapped in there? Good. Nice, all right, sample done. That's great, man.
For a big shark, the tiger has a relatively weak bite force. A lot less than the great white. But on bite alone, neither of those sharks can compete with the bull so far. It's time to give the great white another chance to show the power of its jaws and delve deeper into its attack strategy. Does the great white's awe-inspiring breach make it the deadliest predator of all? This is one of the best places in the world to see a great white shark in action. Mossel Bay in South Africa.
Now we're after the largest of our 3 target species, the granddaddy of them all, the great white.
Oh, look at that.
We're just going to try to get the great white up to the surface, get them bitey.
So they're not shy. They're going to come right up to the back of the boat. We're going to try to lure them in with some bait.
Gee, man.
Brady will work with shark expert Ryan Johnson to measure the bite of this bold hunter.
You know, that's the thing about a great white compared to the other ones. They're very confident, very charismatic, big animal, and they don't mind coming right up to the surface, have a look out of the water at you.
While at the surface, great whites spy hop. They raise their heads out of the water, scanning their surroundings, perhaps looking for prey.
Look at him, look at him. Here's the spy hopping, look at that. Look at that. You literally have to push them off the motors. They'll come back here and injure themselves on these props. You gotta be careful, man. I don't like that. They're that bold, that confident.
Does that extreme confidence go hand in hand with a strong bite? The bull shark has set a high bar for bite force. It's up to the great white to beat it. Brady first measured the great white's bite years ago.
I mean, 669, that is a heck of a bite.
Back then, he got a reading that was over 600 pounds of force. More than the tiger shark, but less than the bull.
We've got some big sharks around.
Big sharks should equate to big bite. Those bull sharks don't get that big, only about 9 or 10 feet long. Yet, do they really have a bite that's almost twice that of a great white? Today, we'll clear up some of that mystery.
Brady wants to make sure the great white really uses its full force on the meter. This time, he's trying something new.
Something that we've talked about in the past is that our bite force meter, our pressure plate, is hard and rigid. It's kind of unnatural for a shark to bite that. Are we really getting legitimate bites from that rigid pressure plate? So I had the National Geographic engineers come up with what I like to call the bite bag. It's much more flexible and pliable than our old rigid pressure plate. So maybe the sharks will think that this is a natural prey item and give us a stronger bite.
Great white sharks are thought of as eating machines. They're actually picky eaters. They prefer to prey on high-fat animals like seals, sea lions, and porpoises, creatures with soft bodies.
It's a more pliable thing for the sharks to bite, and it's filled with air, which will give us the pressure reading in pounds of force. So I'd like to retest the great white to see if we can beat that quarter-ton bite force that I measured years ago and elevate this animal where it belongs, king of the bite, above the bull shark, but I guess we're gonna find out.
Ryan attaches bait to the softer bite bag. The bag's covered with Kevlar, the same material used in bulletproof vests and chainmail. The shark will be able to chomp down without puncturing it.
Okay, mate, we're good to go.
Shark, shark, shark. Oh. Here we go, here we go. Turn, turn, come on in, baby. That is a good one, man. Oh, no, he's biting the motor.
What's your hazard, buddy?
Oh, whoa, come on, baby. Got it, we got a bite. We got a bite. Watch yourself. He's definitely got him. Oh, whoa, whoa.
Got you, mate, got you. He's got you. Are you free?
Yeah. Woo! That's a bite. That's a bite. Man, pulled me in the water, too.
The shark yanked the bait so hard, it nearly pulled Brady in two, his legs dangling underwater. Luckily, Brady's okay, and the bite bag did the trick.
Yeah, you know what? It worked. They do not want to let it go. It's pliable. They got...
You still see the bites going on
Yeah,
the meter.
look. 3.7, 2.5, 3.0, 3.4, 4.7.
He's down there just giving it this because it feels like a natural prey item. He's coming back up. He's coming back. I can see him. He's coming up. He's coming up.
When the shark finally releases the bag, they have a series of bite force numbers. The biggest is 350 pounds.
350, that's a huge bite. But it's still not even close to the bull shark. And how long do you think that shark was?
You know, it wasn't the biggest shark. It was only about 3 meters, 9, 10 foot.
So 9 or 10 feet, that's about the same size as the bull shark that gave us a 900-pound bite. This guy, 350-pound bite. That's still a huge bite, but nothing close to the bull shark. And I'm convinced. The bite bag is a great new design, but also the bull shark has the stronger bite. I mean, that's a big shark. Nothing even close, though, to 900 pounds.
You know, from my side, it's a bit disappointing. Great whites are your pinnacle shark. This is what I've had as a pinnacle shark.
Yeah, not so great anymore, my friend.
It's totally unexpected. The much smaller bull shark is the bite force leader. But that doesn't mean it's the deadliest predator. There's another factor that could tip the scales. Great whites don't usually attack people, but when they do, their teeth can leave behind a deadly stew of bacteria. The upper teeth are serrated, designed for cutting and sawing. The teeth in the lower jaw are used for impaling. They're sharper than in the bull or the tiger, and could help to drive bacteria even further into a wound. Brady's already collected samples from the other sharks.
That is a monster.
But this time, he'll literally be hands-on.
Come on, big boy. Say hello.
Brady will try to hold the shark's mouth open long enough for Ryan to jam in the rubber slug.
Oh! Oh! Oh,
Wait.
Let's go.
She's turning. Go for it, mate. That's it. And out.
Oh!
Woo! Woo, that was close.
It was. She's going right for the motor. I know it.
Now stay
That was a good practice. Yeah. All right, here she comes again. Here he comes.
This is good for us.
Yikes.
Oh, that's a bigger
big
one. Hey.
That's a big shark.
This is the one we want.
That is just a massive animal. Look! Ah, yeah.
Yeah. Get it in there. Whoa. Watch your feet. Whoa.
Woo! Coming straight up. See that? See that maw? That thing is this big. Woo! When you talk about looking death right in the face, gosh.
Oh my God. You can't get much better than that.
Woo!
Oh, look, there we go.
The great white shark bacteria are analyzed, along with the other samples. They're put through a series of tests, and after weeks of waiting, the results are in. They confirm what other studies based on dead sharks have shown. The jaws of all 3 species are crawling with dangerous germs. Bacteria found in these sharks are known to cause serious wound infections and potentially deadly illnesses, including septicemia, diseases that could land you in intensive care. Worse, the tiger and the bull in particular have bacteria that are resistant to many antibiotics, making them even more dangerous. And the bull's bite force is the strongest.
Oh! That puts it up there with the biggest biters on the planet.
But the great white could still be the deadliest predator, thanks to the unique way it catches its prey.
Oh, we got 2 of them. Oh, look. Look at them. They both kind of came together, and now they're right here.
Great white sharks may not have enough bite force to compete with the bull shark, but maybe they don't have to.
Whoa! Humphrey! Whoa! That's incredible! Right beside the boat. He's still after it. He's still after him. Check that out.
Here in South Africa, Brady's investigating the great white's reputation as a fierce predator. It's not just the force of its bite, it's how it bites. They launch themselves like missiles, charging at seals at speeds of up to 15 miles an hour. Does the breach give great whites the deadliest attack of any shark? Here at Seal Island, Brady intends to find out. More than 4,000 Cape fur seals live in this area. And this rocky terrain is their preferred breeding ground. They have few natural predators here, other than the great white shark.
You think it's the low light levels that makes it the seals harder to see the sharks?
Yeah, you know, these seals, if they see a shark, they're really fast, they can get away. So the shark has to sort of get every advantage he possibly can.
Cape fur seals are quick, agile swimmers. To keep up, the great white uses the element of surprise. They ambush from below. And use short bursts of speed to close in. It's hard to get close to these attacks, but Brady's hatched a plan to bring the breaches to him.
You and I have both seen a lot of breaches, but you know, it's hard to really see what's going on. We're on the back of the boat's up and down, we have swells, but I think we may finally solve that problem. I've brought some friends with me, some high-tech friends, and they've got some high-tech gear.
Bobby Watts is a world champion remote control helicopter operator. Eric Van Giesen is an expert in remote control cameras. They're going to give us a new perspective on shark breaching.
Just by looking at this thing, Bobby, I can tell this isn't off the shelf. I'm not gonna walk in my neighborhood variety store and just pick this thing up and walk out, right?
No, I don't think so. This is a pretty highly customized machine we got here, made out of lots of carbon fiber and you know, a lot of low weight, high strength material.
It's like a real full-size helicopter.
Exactly, it flies just like a big one. We can hover with it, we can go forwards, backwards, sideways.
The high-angle footage will be transmitted back to the boat.
Instead of just getting that shot that we've all seen from the back of the boat, we can have an eye in the sky. This thing can hover right over the decoy, it can circle it. This is gonna answer the questions we've got.
Bobby and Eric take the helicopter for a test run.
Oh, look at that, that's awesome.
They want to make any adjustments now, not when there's a shark breaching.
Even with the rocks, you know, I can kind of see it.
Go backwards,
yeah,
forward,
sideways,
side to side.
Yeah, any orientation you want.
Bobby's practicing working this close to the open water.
Careful, you got about 100,000 birds over here to your left.
Okay.
The seabirds flying nearby could be a complication.
How high can you go up? Can we get a good aerial?
Yeah, the helicopter will go as high as you want it to tell you the truth.
When are you gonna lose your signal?
As high as you can see.
Really? So it's got that kind of range?
Yeah, that kind of range.
Literally out of sight.
So it'll record everything that it sees.
I mean, how high is that right there?
That's probably a few hundred feet. Like I said,
that's plenty high enough, my friend.
Like I said, we can take it till it's a dot in the sky.
Okay, then can you come right to us?
Yes, I can.
The helicopter flies without a hitch.
That's the shark coming up. Boom! We can see it, Brady.
If everything goes according to plan, it'll capture breaches in an amazing new way.
Awesome.
The sun has just started to rise. The great white sharks are coming out to feed. The team's remote control helicopter is fully equipped to capture shark breaches off the coast of South Africa.
I don't know, these guys.
It's a tough assignment.
So we're good for a 16-minute flight.
Brady and the team aren't taking any chances. They've picked an area known for shark activity. They've got experienced operators at the controls of the chopper and the camera. And to trigger a breach, they'll drag a seal decoy behind the boat.
All right, decoy's in. It's getting to be the time that the sharks start trying to hunt the seals. Now it's just a waiting game. Get our helicopter in the air and tow it around Seal Island. Keep our fingers crossed.
Bobby, the pilot, and Eric, the camera operator, get the helicopter into position. When a shark breaches, they want to be right on it.
Oh, that's, if you can keep that angle right there, that's money.
Like that, that's cool.
Get a little, yeah, the more over it you can get, the better. Oh, that's just great right there. Come on, bite, sharks, bite.
Great whites are solitary hunters that generally feed in the early morning.
Shark behind it. He's following it.
The water is teeming with activity, but so far, no breaches.
Did you see that one? I'm sure he looks like he's pretty far back.
They need to change the chopper's battery in the next couple of minutes, or it'll drop into the drink. But just when Bobby's about to turn it around,
Nice.
That was a good one.
Unbelievable. Fully out of the water, man. He got it. Looked like he T-boned it. It looked like a marlin coming out. That is incredible. Yet it was probably a 1-ton animal. That's the biggest predatory fish in the sea, and that has got to be the most impressive predatory tactic I have ever seen. Woohoo!
the great white shark smashes into the decoy with the full force of its body. Its massive jaws open wide for the bite. The combination of brute force and a razor-tooth bite gives the great white a uniquely deadly 1-2 punch.
Man, no question what happened that time. I mean, look at this massive bite. If this would have been a real seal, that would have just been a massive injury. It would have taken off half of its body. It would have been almost death instantly. On top of that impact that blew the seal out of the water, that is awe-inspiring.
Many have thought of breaches as unstoppable assaults, but the helicopter footage suggests something else. Watching from behind the dorsal fin, this shark appears locked onto its target, poised for an attack. Then amazingly, it veers away. It seems that great whites have the ability to call off an attack. Maybe their breaches are more calculated than anyone knew. Still, these attacks don't always go as planned.
I don't think that they're exploding out of the water and always getting that seal in their teeth.
Even when the shark doesn't nab the seal, is it so powerful, roaring up from below, that the impact alone can stop its prey? Brady will do one last test to find out how hard the great whites can smash into a seal.
This little device is called an accelerometer. It measures force. It's going to allow us to determine how many G-forces the shark hits the decoy with. I'm going to put it inside and throw her overboard.
The helicopter takes to the skies again. Its camera aimed at the decoy.
Oh man, that's perfect. Stay there.
The great white's feeding time is almost over. But before the team calls it a day,
Oh, yeah, baby! I nailed it! Oh, that was awesome!
He got it so good. It was right in the middle.
Man, and that shark just exploded out.
completely cleared the water. That had to be a 10, 11-foot shark, man, unreal. Can't wait to pull the decoy in and let's get our data. Man, awesome.
Celebration flyby. So that is.
Oh, look at that. Oh my God, look at that. He cut it in half. My heart just stopped because I thought the accelerometer was gone, but we still got it. It's still in there, I think. Yeah, we got it. It's still in there. We got the accelerometer. Look at that.
Man, that's a big shark and a big bite. Woo!
The accelerometer shows a reading of 50 G's of force. Race car drivers tearing around a hairpin turn may face up to 5 G's. And fighter pilots screaming through the skies can experience 9. For a young SEAL, those 50 G's would likely stun it, even knock it unconscious. The breach may be designed to deliver blunt force trauma, not just a lacerating bite.
Oh, holy! That was the best we've ever had!
The great white shark has put on an impressive display. But is it really the shark with the deadliest attack? For Brady, the answer is yes. Based on these tests, the bull has a powerful bite force and dangerous bacteria,
989 pounds.
while the tiger can bite through turtle shells. But when it comes to an all-around assault, the great white seems to stand alone. The deadliest of these sharks, and the ultimate ocean predator.
Come on, I've got him by the tail. Pull. Whoa, 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 whoa. Stop, stop.
Catching big, venomous snakes can literally be a matter of life and death.
Snake! I need the snake tongs!
But what if there's a way to catch the animal without entering the danger zone? From a safe distance. Could a robot catch a snake? To find out, snake expert Brady Barr will tangle with deadly serpents and check out state-of-the-art robots to develop his own SnakeBot and test it in a dangerous encounter of the slithery kind.
You got this snake. There it is.
In Brady Barr's line of work, he earns his hazard pay. Giant constrictors have wrestled him.
He's got my leg. I travel all...
Bitten him. More than once.
Oh my gosh, that's a king cobra. Careful, careful.
And he's had many run-ins with toxic species.
Talking about it.
All too often, finding snakes means worming your way into some kind of claustrophobic crevice.
Snake! Snake! No! Wait! But I've got an idea that might make my job a lot less stressful.
Could Brady use a robot to take over the potentially deadly job of wrangling snakes? His SnakeBot will have to operate in dark and confined places. It'll need a camera, and he wants to control it from a distance. Brady starts his search for a snake-catching robot down a manhole.
I'm in downtown Washington, D.C., getting ready to go subterranean. That's right, I'm headed into the sewers. All right, I'm going down.
The Water Authority relies on robots to monitor nearly 2,000 miles of sewers and underground tunnels. Could a sewer robot work as a SnakeBot?
All right. Man, it's good to be in the sewer. All right, lead the way, my friend. You ever come across anything unusual down here? Anybody ever come across anybody living down here? Or animals?
We haven't come across anybody living down here. We do come across animals down here. I think the one that I can remember is a cow. We saw a cow inside the sewer.
Good God.
It wasn't living, but...
Yeah, well, I was going to say I wouldn't want to get my milk from that cow. Sewer milk. Woo! Yeah, man, it's slippery over here.
Sewer systems can be dangerous.
Man, you don't want to make a misstep here.
Running with rivers and waterfalls containing human waste.
Slippery. Now, I noticed you got some high-tech gear on. This is a poisonous gas detector?
Yes, sir. This here will measure if, and as you can see...
It's going off. That's not good.
We're getting a little bit of an alarm here.
The fumes can push out breathable air, so they have to monitor oxygen levels.
So long story short, this is a dangerous place down here.
Absolutely.
And that's why the DC Water Authority uses robots to do their dirty work.
I hope this is your guy up ahead.
Yes, it is.
Not some unsavory character down here. Hey, man, I'm Brady.
Hey, Brady, I'm Cornell.
Hey, man, oh, that is awesome. Check that out. So this is the sewer bot.
Yeah, this is the sewer bot, aka the rover.
So this is what you send down in the sewer to places that you can't go or places that are too dangerous for you to go.
Exactly. It's our eye in the sewer. That's exactly what it is.
But will it work as Brady's snake tracking robot?
See, we got a camera on the front of it that pans and tilts, so we can look at different angles in the sewer line, check if
A camera will obviously be vital.
Seems heavy. Can I pick it up?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, that is something. Can this thing go under?
Like the sewers, the holes where snakes are found will be pitch black.
And I see you got some really bright lights up in the front.
LEDs are in the front.
So we're in a big pipe now, but the plan is to take the rover and send it down a small pipe, a place we can't go.
Okay, let's go.
It's time to put the rover to work and see just what it's capable of.
Hey, KC, tell them looking live.
All right, rover, do your stuff. Go, baby, there it goes. All right, look at it. Man, it's going fast.
An extra long tether means they can monitor the video feed from the comfort of a van, safely above ground.
Call me a sewer rat. That's awesome, man. I like it down there. I can't wait to see the video. Oh, there it is. Look at it. So that's the view from the rover. Look at it. There it goes. So it's going down that pipe looking for problems, cracks, animals.
Anything wrong with the infrastructure of the sewer?
Now what's this white thing, white stuff coming up?
That's grease.
Grease?
That's grease in the sewer lines. We have a lot of grease. Grease builds up.
Where's it coming from?
Out of people's houses, out of laterals, anything, any cooking food, it just builds up.
The sewer robot has the camera and bright lights Brady needs, but in other ways, it's not the perfect snake bot.
There aren't many places I go where I'm gonna be able to take a big van, a water and sewer authority van with lab technicians to monitor the video. That's just not gonna happen. Also, I think that the weight of the rover is just too great. It would bog down in the sand of these aardvark burrows where these snakes are found. I've learned a lot today. This has been good stuff.
There's a very different robot that might be just what Brady needs. The Armadillo. Small, lightweight, highly mobile. It's designed for military surveillance. Cameras on all four sides feed video to a screen on the controller. A soldier can safely survey an enemy bunker. It should allow Brady to explore a snake burrow. And its high-tech tires are designed to handle the sandy soil.
And best of all, this baby is rough and tough. Next stop, South Africa and giant snakes.
Brady's headed to the Qualata Game Ranch, a couple hours north of Johannesburg. The area is riddled with burrows, perfect refuges for big snakes.
I hope that the robot will be able to go down these burrows
look around, be my eyes for me. Let me know what's in the burrow. Let me know if it's safe for me to continue down and get what I'm after. And I'm after big snakes, pythons.
In particular, African pythons. They're one of the biggest snake species in the world. Yet they're almost impossible to find. The best place to look is in their burrows.
You never know what's gonna be inside. Venomous snakes, cobras, puff adders, hyenas, aardvarks, warthogs. If you go down there, you can be rewarded with a giant snake, but you'd also lose your life without knowing what's in those holes before you venture in.
So Brady hopes the armadillo can take over as his snake bot, exploring the burrows to locate a python. But that's the easy part. Can the robot then drive the snake out so Brady doesn't have to go in after it? The test starts at night.
It's wintertime in South Africa, where the days can be chilly, but the nights are just downright cold. Way too cold for a giant snake. The snakes may come out and bask in the sun in the day, but at night, they've got to be underground. They've got to be down in the burrows. So I'm thinking that's the best time to find them. Let's send the armadillo down these burrows where the snakes are trying to stay warm.
Snakes can't internally regulate their body temperature like we can. The temperature outside is around 40 degrees, but the burrows will stay much warmer.
This looks like a good hole. Let's see, it goes way back there on the left. That looks great.
But there's no one home.
This looks like a good one. Oh, check it out. That is a snake skin. These look like huge belly scales. That's got to be a python. No snake in Africa gets that big.
The robot has found a clue, while Brady remains safe above ground.
Where there's a snake skin, there has been a snake. He may still be at home. A lot of these big snakes will go down these burrows and shed because they're kind of vulnerable. They go somewhat blind when they shed, so they go down where they feel safe.
Each eye is covered with a single modified scale. These turn milky blue when the snake is ready to molt, clouding the snake's vision. The eye scales are shed along with the rest of the skin.
You can see the burrow continues over here on the right. I'm gonna continue. We're gonna run right over this baby and go find the snake that it came from.
Here, the soil changes.
You can see where the walls have kind of been broken down or decayed. You can see little crevices, lots of roots. It's a good burrow. Watch it! Snake! 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 We got a snake!
The robot has found a snake,
We got a snake.
but it's not a
Oh,
python.
he's moving. That's a puff adder. That's a venomous snake. Oh, that is awesome. That is a monster, too. That is a puff adder. Very, very dangerous snake. If I'm not mistaken, more venomous snake bites are attributed to this species than any other venomous snake in Africa.
They inject large amounts of highly potent venom that acts by destroying cells. Puff adders also have a special kind of stealth camouflage. Each scale has a ridge that makes them less reflective. They don't glint like most snakes and are harder to spot.
That's why I brought the robot. If I wouldn't have brought it, I would have crawled into that burrow and come face to face with that puff adder. See, this works, man. This is awesome. I am not going in that burrow. We're pulling our robot out, and we're gonna go to the next burrow. Man, chalk one up to the robot. You could have just saved my life.
Brady tries several more burrows, but no luck. He resumes the hunt next morning.
Nobody home. We know this is an empty burrow. Let's move to the next one.
So far, it's been a bust.
I had high hopes for that burrow. Let's move on.
Brady decides to try one more hole.
It's a chamber. This one's not that deep at all. Just whoa, 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 whoa. We have something. There's something.
It's a snake. Definitely a snake, and it's a python. That is definitely a python. Yes, the robot found it. Now we gotta try to get it out of there.
Brady wants to investigate this magnificent and rare animal up close. Can the robot help him to extract it? Before coming to South Africa, Brady came up with a way it might just do that.
Let's get the animal head on it.
Brady's plan is to trick the python and lure it out of its burrow. He was inspired by the growing field of biomimetics, using robots to imitate wild animals, like the researchers who used a robotic female grouse to hoodwink males and stimulate mating displays. An onboard camera records the extraordinary courtship dances the robot provokes. If robots can dupe grouse, can they fool pythons? Brady recruits expert taxidermist Paul Reimer to disguise his robot as a wild animal that a python could encounter. A jackal.
Now, my fake jackal comes into play. I'm gonna bolt this baby onto the top of the armadillo.
If the disguise works, the python could see the jackal as a threat, slither out of the burrow, and Brady can grab it.
Or it's gonna view the jackal as a prey item. It's gonna strike it, put on the big squeeze, thinking that it's a real animal. And while it's squeezing it, I'm gonna pull out a ball of python, all coiled around the armadillo and the jackal. All right, the jackal is in place, and we gotta just send it down the hole. Got a bad image, bad signal. It's turned. It's looking at the jackal.
The jackal appears to intimidate the python. The coiled tail signals that it feels threatened and may be poised to strike.
I'm gonna go forward I'm gonna creep a little.
Oh, it struck the jackal, but it didn't get caught.
I'm gonna back up just a little bit.
It definitely struck, I got it.
Man, it didn't wrap it up. It looked to me like more of a defensive strike. It wasn't a predatory strike. If it would have been a predatory, he would have held on and wrapped up the jackal.
The snake seems tensely aware of the jackal, but it doesn't see it as a serious threat, and it doesn't seem to view it as prey.
And now he's in tight coils. His head's in the middle of the coils. All I see is coils. I mean, it's almost an impenetrable fortress. The robot worked in finding the snake, but it's not gonna be able to get that snake out of that hole for me. I think I'm gonna pull the jackal out.
It's going to be harder than Brady thought for a robot to actually wrangle a snake. His snakebot needs an upgrade, but how should he adapt it? To find out what a robot needs to tackle a python, Brady's going to try doing it himself.
Which is not something I really want to do with a giant snake. I mean, that snake is huge. A snake that size could kill a human very easily. I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna suck it up. I'm just gonna go down. But you guys gotta pull me out if I yell. I mean, you've got to be standing by because this is a tight hole. That's what it's down to. I'm back to square one. Brady Barr's crawling down animal holes again, dangerous animal holes. My family is not gonna be happy about this.
Brady's snake tracking robot may have located a python, but he's going to have to go in and get it.
Yeah, I see his head. It's in the very back. You know, the problem is the chamber's just not big enough to accommodate me and the snake. I don't know if I can do this. Hannes?
Yes, Brady.
You stay close to my feet.
Right behind you.
Okay.
Fellow scientist Hannes Botha will have to pull him out if things go wrong.
I can't see the head. He's hissing. Where's the damn head? I hear him hissing. He's looking at us. Hannes?
Yes, Brady.
Pull me out. Hang on just a second. Yeah, pull. Okay. Okay. I don't know if I can do it. I mean, there's two entrances to this burrow. I'm gonna take a look at the other one, but... Oh! Oh! He's coming out over here! He's coming out! He's right on top of the camera. His head's right here. I'm gonna go in the other hole and try to grab him by the tail, and I'll pull him out by the tail. Simon, tell me if he moves. Yeah. Oh, what's going on?
His back coils are moving. His head's coming back into the tunnel.
Oh yeah, I see his head. It's right by his tail. His head's right here. Hannes, get ready to pull me, but his head is right next to me. I'm gonna see if I can tong him.
Brady uses specialized snake grabbers to try to get hold of its head.
He's too strong.
So he heads back to the first entrance.
All right, I'm gonna try to hook its tail. Simon, did anybody else see the head? Pull me back just a little bit. Pull me back slowly. Oh, slow. Whoa, 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 whoa. I lost the tail. Pull me back. Slowly, slow. Oh, shoot. Give me the snake stick. Hurry, he's moving, hurry. I'm so close. It's hissing. Let me go in a little bit.
He reaches for the tail with his hand.
Pull me back slowly, slowly. I've got him by the tail, pull. All right, hurry, hurry, get me out. Whoa, 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 stop, stop. All right, pull me. I got him. Wait. Watch the head. Somebody help me grab. Hannes, somebody grab the snake. I can't hang on. Watch it. You got him? Keep pulling. All right. Whoa, everybody get back. He's coming out. Help me pull, Hannes. We got him! Man, that thing is a monster. Whoa, watch out. Look at that. That has got to be 5 meters of python. Man, my heart is going a mile a minute. And these giant snakes are so rare. Every day, there are fewer and fewer of these snakes on the planet because people kill them just out of fear and ignorance. Man, it's always a good day when you catch a giant python, but it's even better day when you catch a giant python and you don't get bitten. Woo!
The robot successfully tracked down a huge python. But to physically wrangle a snake, Brady's snakebot must be able to actually grab it, especially if it's venomous. One of the most terrifying snake-catching scenarios is when a deadly toxic serpent ends up close to humans. It has to be removed, or bad things can happen. Just ask the young farmer from a small town not far from Johannesburg. His day started normally enough. But he had no idea that a Mozambique spitting cobra had taken refuge in a broken plumbing pipe outside. It's one of the deadliest snakes in Africa. Its venom literally breaks down your flesh. It's quite comfortable in water. Following the pipe, it emerged through the U-bend of his toilet. And bit him in the last place a man wants to be bitten. Fortunately, he survived, his manhood more or less intact. That's why venomous snakes have to be kept away from people. But handling a deadly snake is like handling a bomb. One false move can be your last. Today, incredibly sophisticated robots are used to defuse bombs. Could something like this make an effective snake bot? To find out, Brady checks in with John Bilski of the Pennsylvania State Police Bomb Squad.
That's why I've come here, and I want to find out more about what these robots are capable of to see if I can actually use them to go in a house and remove an incredibly dangerous snake. I like this little guy in the back of the truck there.
We'll bring him out for you.
Oh, look at that. That is awesome. Which robot is this?
This is the iCore robot. Look at that.
That is incredible.
It investigates several suspicious package calls each month. Like the sewer robot, it has a live feed camera on board. But it has something else that Brady's snake bot will need: a mobile arm and gripping claw. The claw enables it to access the back of the car and remove what could be a bomb. The iCore has one other function that Brady's hopefully not going to need. Brady's not planning to blow up any snakes, but the robot is obviously capable and could be the foundation of his snake bot.
The bomb diffusing robot suggested a design for my snake bot: a mobile base, a maneuverable arm with a gripper on the end. However, the robot I used to capture snakes is going to have to be a whole lot faster and more dexterous. I'm hoping the guys here at HDT will have what I'm looking for.
Brady's about to shake hands with one of the most sophisticated robotic arms on the planet.
Hey, Tom. Brady Barr. Hi. Hey, pleasure. So this is it. This is it. Unbelievable is all I can say. I mean, this is going to be the snake bot. And this is what we're going to utilize to try to keep me out of a very dangerous situation.
Yes, this is the arm that's going to try to catch that snake.
And this is the Mark I manipulator. It emerged from a project to design a robotic arm that could be used as a prosthetic limb.
It's designed to have a lot of dexterity, so it has basically all the same motions of a human arm.
It's like the iCore bomb disposal robot, but adapted to the needs of a snake bot.
It's incredible. I mean, it's intimidating in a way. I don't know why I say that, but to see that thing, I mean, a very fluid motion.
Yes.
It's not a jerky, robotic type of motion.
Yes.
I mean, look at that. Can I give a grip there?
You sure can.
And it won't crush my hand?
It probably won't.
Wow, that's firm. I mean, that's a firm grip. Wow, so it's not a joystick. I was envisioning a joystick, but, you know, what do you call this?
Well, we call it a high degree of freedom joystick. So
Okay.
It's actually got 10 different joints that Dan controls with his arms.
So however Dan moves his arm and hand, the robot is mimicking those moves. Those are the commands for the robot
Yes.
to make those moves.
Yes. He's actually simultaneously controlling every joint of the arm.
Well, it looks very complicated, but you say that it's not that difficult.
No, it's not that difficult to use.
With a little practice, I might get the hang of it.
Yes, a half an hour and you'd be probably as expert as the rest of us.
Ooh, I like the sound of that. Maybe 15 minutes. Can I give it a try? So how do I grip this?
So you put your 2 fingers around the bottom here.
All right,
Your 2 fingers
got
on
those.
paddles right there, yep.
Yep.
And then your other finger right here.
And then fingers.
Put your thumb right on that one.
Right.
So each motion you do with your hand and your wrist now will be copied on the robot.
Wow, look at that. I'll move it up and down. And now the fingers.
Can Brady actually pick something up with it? Something kind of snake-shaped.
Oh. Oh. Okay.
Hey, there you go.
Woohoo! Oh! We had the snake captured and it just got loose again. We're all dead. Wow. Well, I tell you what, I mean, I think I could do it with a little more practice. Oh, I'm sold. That thing is incredible. That does everything I need it to do to capture a venomous snake.
Brady will take the SnakeBot back to South Africa to put it to the test. A couple of hours outside of Johannesburg, Brady gets word. A dangerous snake needs catching. He got the call from his old friend and problem snake catcher, Hannes Botha.
Yeah. Yeah, this is it. Is it still here?
It's still here, Brady. This guy called us over. He saw a snake go in this bathroom and close the door on it.
Mamba.
You're sure that this is what you saw?
Yes,
Okay.
I see.
Okay.
Very dangerous snake.
The mamba.
I don't know if this is good or bad, but if there is a mamba in there, that is a very dangerous snake. That's the one snake that scares me. I mean, I don't know how you feel about a mamba.
Mamba, pretty nervous when I see one, yes.
The black mamba is the most feared of all African snakes.
Oh, look. It's got its mouth open. There's where they call it the black mamba. Oh, look, he's gaping.
Brady's caught them before. It's terrifying.
Man, that thing really makes me nervous.
They're big, often reaching 10 feet, armed with deadly neurotoxic venom, and, scariest of all, lightning quick.
I mean, look, that's a life and death situation. It's not something I want to go in after. Perfect opportunity for the robot. Let's get the robot. Let's be we'll crack the door, see if we can see the snake and send the robot in. Send the robot in to do our job. Keep us safe out here. So let's unload that bad boy and see what we got. Nice recovery.
That's good. Yeah.
Nice recovery.
Brady's SnakeBot is ready to go to work.
All right, this, my friends, is the robot. Is that incredible?
The engineers make final tweaks.
We're good. Robot's fired up. Okay, I'm gonna open this door. I mean, the snake, these guys need to back up. I mean, this snake could be right here. Look, as I said, if I run, you run. You ready?
I'm ready.
I don't see anything. All right, let's do it. Let's do it quick. Let's do it quick. When I get the robot in there, you shut the door, okay? Okay, we're in. Look at that trash can.
Okay. Yeah.
That's where it's at. Here, I'll bet you anything the snake is in there. Let's move that box. Yeah, there's nothing in that box either. Let's go over here and check this out. Okay, I'm gonna try to push that door open. Oh, nice.
There's no sign of the snake.
This is stressful. We've been all around the room. I think the only place we haven't looked are in those sinks and that one toilet.
The robot can't get high enough to investigate, so Brady gives it a small camera to video the potential hideouts.
Okay, come on, baby. Let's see what we got going here. It's not in that sink. It's not in that one either. See, there's a grate in the bottom of that drain, so you know it can't go down the drain. Okay, one more sink.
It's not in the toilet either.
And I thought for sure. Well, I thought it was going to be in the trash can, too. I guess I'm really sure until we check each place.
Could the snake have escaped?
Let's pull the robot out, and then let's go in cautiously and check the results of the robot and see maybe if there's a hole that, you know, the robot just overlooked. Yeah, open the door. I'm going to bring it out. Okay.
There's no alternative but for Brady and Hannes to go in and look for the deadly mamba themselves.
Nothing. Nothing in here. My heart just stopped. I mean, Hannes' phone goes off, and I'm on edge as it is. Good God, man. Turn that phone off.
Told you that wasn't gonna happen.
Jeez.
Brady, nothing yet either. There's nothing under the door, nothing.
No. There's nothing. What are those things?
That's the system.
Oh,
where the water that flushes this thing comes from.
Yeah. So these things have water in them. Is that open?
Could the snake have slithered in there? There's no easy way to check, but Hannes' cell phone gives Brady an idea.
We'll hold the cell phone up there and we'll just take a photo and then we'll check it out. It's much safer than sticking your whole head. You ready?
I'm ready.
Yep.
Okay.
Hang on. Okay, hang on. Okay. Oh, go. The snake's there. Go. It's there. Hold. Look. It's there. It's there.
It is a mamba.
Oh my. How are we gonna get it out? Let's give the robot a stick. We'll just go in there. I think if we tap on that cistern, that thing will come out of there like a jack in the box. All right, let's get the boom pole. We have a boom pole that we put cameras on. A black boom pole, and we'll give it to the robot. Right. Okay. Let's go. All right, shut the door. He's out. He's coming out. He's down.
I see him.
You see him?
Yep. Yeah.
The mamba snakes across the windowsill. it's shedding. It drops into one of the stalls.
It's dropping down.
The robot heads after it, but there's a problem.
We saw the snake go into that last toilet stall. The robot is in position. It's ready to grab the snake. We just don't have a snake. The robot's looked everywhere. We've lost the snake, which is a horrifying proposition because that means I got to go in. I mean, we're going in right now. Hey, now look, you guys talk. You tell me if you see that snake. Hannes, you watch that monitor.
There's a cistern in the stall like the one the mamba just came from.
The cistern is flush up against the wall. Unless it went into the tank.
The robot arm can't reach the cistern to check.
It's got to be in that tank. Yeah. Is that plastic or porcelain? Plastic. I'm going to pull the tank off. Okay, I just pulled the lid off of the tank. We're not sure where the snake is, but we think that it's in that tank. Hannes is going to try to attempt to look over and just see if he can look down in there. Why don't you just stick your phone over there and take a photo? Stick it out there as far as you can. Okay. Man, if I tell you to go, you go. Got it. Okay, let's look. Is it in there? Oh my gosh, that is it. That's it. So we'll see the black thing in there. That's it. All right, I mean, you talk about a tough situation. I mean, I was hoping and praying that I wouldn't have to come in here and try to tackle this black mamba. We got a incredibly high-tech robot in here. The robot's in position, but the robot can't reach in that cistern and get the snake out.
So Brady's going to have to do it himself.
This is so stressful, so freaking stressful, I cannot tell you. It is absolutely like trying to defuse a bomb. I mean, this snake bites me.
The mamba is coiled up at the very bottom of the toilet tank.
Go. I mean, that thing is faster than you can imagine. If that thing is head up, it's just in strike position. Yeah, the problem is it's down in the bottom of this bowl and I can't get down in there to catch it. That's a big snake. I mean, that mamba is probably, that's like an 8-footer, 8.5, maybe 9 feet long. The problem is if I grab it too far back, it just comes up and bites me even though I have a hold of the snake. I mean, my tongs are only, what is that, 3.5 feet long. That snake's 8.5, 9 feet long. All right, hang on, I'm going back in. Hey, now you guys really... It's just too tight. We're gonna have to goose it out of there. Hey, Hannes? Yes. Get ready with it. I'm gonna just goose it. We gotta get it. It's too dangerous to try to catch in that tank. Okay. We gotta try to hook it out of there.
The robot is no help now. It's up to Brady and Hannes.
Maybe we could, from this stall, use the ladder and use that long pole and try and entice him to come out.
All right. Geez, though, you're stuck, though. Man, you're absolutely stuck in there on that ladder.
Well, you get him.
Hannes will have no escape route. If the mamba strikes him, he could die.
But you can see his head quite clearly.
If he comes up, bang, I'm in there and we got him. Yeah. Okay? Okay. All right, Hannes, gently try to go in. Okay. Try to see if you can get some movement.
Okay, the head is coming up here.
The head is? Yeah. If the head comes up, then you can get out of there. Once it's coming up.
Just,
you know, be careful. Be careful. Be very careful. Okay.
Okay. Go get the bin, Hannes. Go get the bin. Something to put him in. We've got this snake. Bill will be right behind me, are you? I'm gonna try to pull that out here into a safer position. That's fine. That is a big mamba. That's a big mamba. No. Whoa, watch out, watch out, watch out. Here he comes. No. Back it up. Get back. Let's get a shot of this snake first. That's a big snake. That is a big mamba. Get him off my wrist. You hold the tail. Let's get him out of here and put him in the bin.
We got it.
You go first. You go first. Go first. Get the lid. You ready?
Yeah.
Wait. 1, 2, 3, go! Woo! Dang.
But in some ways, the most dangerous task is still to come. The release.
We now have the snake safely in here. Let's go relocate it. We'll take it out, far away, into the country, release it unharmed. I mean, it's a spectacular snake. Terrifying snake. Man, I'm glad you were with me. There aren't many people I would want to tackle one of these mambas with. Okay. I'll right back here and make sure it doesn't tip over. Just don't go too fast. This is perfect mamba habitat out here. The scrub. These guys spend a lot of time in the trees looking for birds, small mammals. Right here. Let's try to go all the way back with it.
The snake seems reluctant to leave what it thinks is a safe refuge.
Is it going back in the bin? Okay, whoa. Did you see that thing stand up?
Brady and Hannes's dangerous job is finally done. Ultimately, even a state-of-the-art robot wasn't able to tackle the black mamba. To be effective, a future snakebot will need to be more mobile and more dexterous. For now, snake wranglers like Brady and Hannes must continue to put themselves in harm's way to keep others safe from deadly serpents.
I got it. Peter! Give me that other rope. Look out, he's gonna go. Woo! People are tied to this lake for water, washing clothes, fishing, bathing. And yet when you come down to the lake, you could be lining up for the slaughter. capture of these animals is literally going to save lives, human lives. This is a problem area. They have a problem with man-eating crocodiles that are killing locals.
Namoni village is one of the villages which have reported problem crocodile or man-eater crocodile in the area. Over 20 people have been killed, and most of them are fishermen. Some of them are women going to fetch water, and children.
Children, and that's tragic. This is a fishing village, so these people's lives literally revolve around the water. And you said they tow the jerry cans behind the boat.
Come in and get it. Come on, take your time. Tighten it. Pull back. Tight. All right, we got it. Pull him out. Pull him out. You got it? Keep pulling. Okay. Pull. Tight. Quick. Jump on its neck. Just jump on its neck. It can't get you. Go, go, go. 1, 2, 3. Good job. Woo, man.
I have your Richard.
Richard. Brady.
Fisher, John Fisher.
John Fisher.
Yes. This is Caesar.
Caesar. It's a good, strong name.
This is John again.
Hey, John. 2 Johns.
Yes.
Hey, nice to meet you. Let's get in the boats and get out of here. So after I left last time, shortly after I left, you captured that really big crocodile that we almost caught. You captured it.
Yes, I captured it. It was really huge. It was 5 meters long and weighing about 1 ton, 1,000 kilograms.
Very dangerous crocodile. That crocodile was very
huge. It was huge.
That killed many people.
Yeah, it killed over 80 people.
You became famous for that capture. It was in the newspaper and on television.
Yeah, I was really very happy because it was my first experience.
Thing's huge. Go, fast. I mean, this shows you how difficult it is to catch crocs during the daylight hours.
Yeah, it's very difficult.
Almost impossible. It's just hard, really difficult to get close enough to even have an attempt to capture them. Let's go up here. Let's go. Yeah. We tie our rope to this tree and put the noose right there. I can smell it. All right, guys, we're gonna set up a snare and hope that the crocodile will walk through it. No bait. Let's get some rope and noose and get this underway. I'm just gonna put this here for now. We can hang it from that branch.
From the branch, yeah.
Try to make this as big as possible. You know, and hopefully, we know the crocodile comes and goes right here. We'll put it right like this.
I would suggest that we put it here. Yes, here.
Here?
First way. Here.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's great. That's a good idea.
There's something to hold it here. Yeah, down.
Why don't we just do that?
Like this.
All right, we got the snare in position. We saw that giant crocodile leave its basking site when it saw us and come right down this hill. So we've positioned our snare where we think it's going to exit. With some luck, we may come back later and find this crocodile snared. It's tied to the tree and it has plenty of rope to get down in the water. But let's get back in the boats and go. Wow, check it out.
Let's see how we can. Oh, here.
We're having a hard time finding the crocodiles. Last time I was here, we found them very far from water. So we're thinking maybe we'll have similar luck this time. You gotta be careful though, because they could be anywhere in here.
By sundown, they've still not captured a croc.
Okay, let's keep going.
Their search continues into the night when the animals are out hunting for food. Until Brady gets one to train the rangers, they can't go after a man-eater in Lake Victoria.
Yeah, right there. Let's go right over there. See him? It's a big crocodile. It's under the tree. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. Stop.
The croc slips out of the snare and gallops away, leaving Brady empty-handed.
Can you believe what bad luck we're having? I think it's gonna be a good night though. It's warm. I think the crocodiles are out on land. Let's see if we can find another one.
After hours of hunting, Brady finally makes his first capture. A docile young croc he'll present as part of a National Geographic online game for kids.
Hey, Animal Jammers, Dr. Brady Bauer here. Check this out. There's only 2 alligators on the planet, and there's 14 types of crocodiles. But crocodiles, regardless... You okay? That's why you gotta be careful whenever you're holding crocodiles, regardless of size. That was a small crocodile, but he gave me a good bite. I've learned my lesson. Next time, I won't be as casual when I'm holding a small crocodile. Ouch. I'm about ready to call it a night. We've been out here over 5 hours. I mean, tonight defined disappointing and embarrassing. We had multiple misses. Got bitten by a small one. These rangers are probably rolling their eyes saying, and this guy's our teacher? Well, all I know is it can't get any worse. Tomorrow's a new day.
Day 2 on the Nile River in Uganda. Until he catches a croc here, Brady can't teach the young wildlife rangers the skills to help him capture a man-eater in Lake Victoria. And right now, things aren't looking good.
Crocodiles have got incredible senses. I mean, they've got a great sense of sight and a great sense of smell. It's hard to fool them. They're very in tune to everything in their environment.
So Brady will try a technique that's out of the crocodile's own evasion handbook.
For years, I've wanted to try this crazy, unorthodox technique for capturing crocodiles. I went to sniper school. I was trained by the experts on the art of camouflage. This morning, I'm gonna give it a try. You can't just camouflage yourself. Man, you gotta camouflage everything. The pole, the rope, the snare, everything has to be covered with something that looks natural. It may not even work. I may not be giving the crocodiles enough credit. They may immediately say, oh, well, what's this? Here's a human camouflage laying under a tree on my basking site. I'm not going up there. We're getting ready to find out. Brady Barr's now disappeared. I've now become part of the bush. We're ready to catch monster crocs.
Brady's going to a site where yesterday they saw signs of croc activity.
The key is the natural vegetation. We'll stick this in here like this. Okay, that's good. I'm gonna lay here very quietly for a couple hours, maybe.
While Brady lies quietly, the rangers wait in a boat at the shoreline. And wait. And wait. After 2 hours, Brady still hasn't fooled a single croc. It's pointless to continue.
You know, maybe I'm not giving these crocodiles enough credit. I guess you're not on the planet for a couple 100 million years by being lazy and stupid. Big crocs, you see them? Keep going, go fast. Go fast, go, go, go.
Back along the Nile River, Brady needs to catch one croc soon.
We did say fast.
Otherwise, he can't train the rangers to help him hunt a man-eater.
In the heat of the day, it's just too hot for the crocodiles to be in the sun. So they crawl up on land underneath these shade trees. And it's really stressful when you come looking for them. You see one?
That one went behind there. But it's here. Yeah, come, come, come.
There, I got you, buddy. Watch yourself. Watch yourself. Get the rope. Peter, help me hold on to the rope. Help me hold on to the rope.
Finally, the training can begin for the eager young rangers.
Go, go. Hang on, we don't want him, hey, come this way. Yeah, let him roll up. No, let him roll up. You guys grab the rope. I have it. This is a good one. We'll do our lecture with this one. I'm gonna try to get the upper jaw so we can better control him. Get it behind the teeth, tighten it up. Here.
The ranger's job is to use the rope to control the croc.
Okay, no.
So Brady can jump on its back and secure its jaws.
No.
But with the animal rolling, it's not easy.
All right, Peter, just leave that. Let me have that. Peter, you help me jump on the tail.
Wait.
When he rolls, let him roll. Okay, get the legs. Okay, pull over that way. Just hold it. You're on my rope. That's, excuse me. We're gonna do some work on him up here, and I'm gonna show you what you can and can't do with this animal. We're gonna pick it up, but don't pick it up by the legs. You have to go underneath the body. Yes. And I'm gonna hold the head because that's the most dangerous part. But hey, be careful. Don't let the head swing over and get you. Okay. 1, 2, 3, go. Keep coming. That's good, right here. Yeah. Okay. Let's get this snare off.
From the
And we'll talk about
start,
some
Brady
things.
talks safety for the
Very
Rangers
important to know.
and the croc.
As you saw, the first thing we did when we got a rope on it is to secure those jaws. If it gets a hold of anything, you're gonna lose it. If it gets your arm, if it doesn't just bite it off, it'll roll and rip it off. But even with the jaws tied shut, this is still very, very dangerous because they'll swing their head like this, hit you in the face, knock your teeth out. That's bone. Yes. And there's 2 danger zones around the crocodile. Danger zone is from here and all the way around here. And it comes up this way too. The other danger zone is back here by the tail. The crocodile right now is stressed, it's confused, it's scared. So we cover the eyes like that, so it just can't. It has a calming effect on the animal. Okay, let's roll it towards us. You ready? 1, 2, 3, roll.
Next,
roll,
Brady
roll,
gives
roll.
a quick lesson in croc biology.
You guys know how to sex a crocodile? Now here's the vent. You know, all reptiles only have one opening. If you stick your finger in there, and if you feel something, it's a male. You'll feel a penis, but if you don't feel anything, it's a female. Stick your finger in and tell me if it's a male or a female. You feel anything? No. Yeah, it's a female. Yeah, there's nothing to feel. Okay, now.
At all times, Brady stresses being in control and having a healthy respect for the croc's jaws.
If that's your hand, you just lost it. Please, I mean, if I don't teach you anything else, the only thing I want you to remember is to stay out of that danger zone. Because I do not want to hear months from now, Peter's going to email me and say, yeah, little John went into the danger zone and lost his hand. I'm going to hold the jaws shut, and I'm going to have you come around, and I'm going to have you tape them right here behind the nose, okay? Yes. If he starts struggling, though, you get out of the way.
Don't close the eyes?
That's a good idea. We'll close the eyes. No, not till I'm ready.
For the inexperienced ranger, the simplest tasks can lead to costly mistakes.
Wait, you got my finger in there. Okay. And don't cover up the nostrils. Yes. Good. Man, I tell you, I've done a lot of things with crocs over the years, but this is the most rewarding thing I've ever done. Because what I'm teaching these guys saves lives.
By training the rangers now, Brady's preparing the next generation of croc catchers to go to villages like Naumani and prevent future tragedies.
Wow, this crocodile's bigger than I thought. It's 11 feet 6 inches. Peter.
The capture and relocation process has one final part.
Peter and I will show you how to release a crocodile, which is absolutely the most dangerous part of the whole procedure. You usually count 1, 2, 3, and then on 3, we're gonna jump off. You ready? Yes. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, it is gonna go right back to the water. See that? Let's go, man. Yeah, that's great, right? Yeah. That's how you safely release a crocodile. Yeah, Peter. You guys all did good. Now you know what we got to do? Let's go catch a bigger one. Yeah.
Evening at Murchison Falls. With one croc capture under their belts, the wildlife rangers are halfway through their training. Before going after a Lake Victoria man-eater, Brady takes them out again. Because nighttime captures are far more common.
You got it?
That's when the crocs are most active, but it's also when catching them is more dangerous. The fact is, crocs have excellent night vision, allowing them to see predator or prey in minimal light. Plus, their low profile in water or on land makes them a danger to even the most experienced croc catcher.
Don't move. Don't anybody move. Oh, it's going the other way. Light it up. We got it. Help, he's coming back. He's coming back towards you.
While Brady's snared the croc, it's thrashing out of control.
All right. Look out, he's going to come for that.
It's fighting.
Man, you talking about having a tiger by a tail. This is a bad apple here. This is a mean croc, dangerous animal. Be careful. Okay, all the rangers can come up. Go, go. That's an aggressive croc. That thing is really pissed.
Faced with an angry animal, the rangers appear nervous.
All right, I tell you what, I told myself the next croc we catch, I was gonna let the rangers do it all by themselves. Yeah. But this one is so mean, I think I'm gonna try to secure the jaws. That is an angry crocodile. Oh, very dangerous when it's up against a tree like that. Whoa, give him some slack, give him some slack. Give him rope.
While Brady's concerned the crocodile may injure itself against the tree trunk, there's another danger.
When you capture a crocodile, it's not only dangerous for you, but it's very dangerous for the animal, because the animals die very easily.
Despite their armor-plated exterior, crocs have an inner physiological weakness.
He's getting tired.
During prolonged exertion,
Getting tired.
a fight, or a capture, lactic acid builds up in the animal's bloodstream. Too much lactic acid acts like a poison in its body, depriving it of oxygen. A struggling croc can literally exhaust itself to death.
Somebody else, Little John, hold this rope here.
Brady has to teach the rangers to move quickly to secure the croc.
No, don't pull, just keep it tight, don't pull. Just keep it tight.
Always don't wrap
somebody.
your hand.
Oh, very good point.
Don't wrap.
Yeah, man, it'll rip your hand off. 1, 2, 3. Okay, let go. You guys, give us some slack. Okay, let's secure these jaws real quick. I gotta get in front of here. Okay. Pull those legs up, can you? These. Okay. This is a very aggressive crocodile. I guarantee this is a male. Let this down. Little John, come and tape it right there. Just give me that. Okay, go.
Now it's time for the rangers to practice handling the croc.
That's good. You just break it. Woo! I'm gonna get off and I'm gonna let you guys do the rest. Woo! All right, my job is done. Big John and Little John. Tie the back legs, and then someone else can tie the front legs. Yeah, here, and I'll hold the light for you. Yeah. Don't tie Little John to the crocodile. You remember Little John taped my finger to the crocodile.
Brady watches them carefully. Overlooking a mistake here could prove costly when they tackle a Lake Victoria maneater.
Here, look, these legs, they need to be tied like this. Look at the size of that foot. That is a huge crocodile.
And this one, this has to meet.
Yeah. That's perfect. That is a nice crocodile.
Yeah.
Here, who's gonna measure? Tip of the snout. Hey, no, wait a minute. Yeah, don't get in that danger zone. Just about 11 feet long. Let's roll it this way, and somebody has to sex it. We got to find out what sex it is. But I bet you anything this is a male.
But even if the croc seems secure, you can't let your guard down.
Hey, no, don't get off, don't get off, don't ever get off. No, if you're gonna get off, he has to sit here behind you.
Remember, I said never leave one person on the
That's right. Okay, that's good. So, no, don't, everybody hold, you gotta hold on to it, hold on to it.
One person hold
Somebody
it.
sex it. Somebody, put your finger in.
Your finger is short.
You feel a male organ?
If you feel something inside, then you know it's nothing.
Nothing? All right, somebody else do it. Here, John, hold this head. I'll double check for you guys. That's a female. That's a big female. I would have guessed a male. How aggressive. But that's a heavy croc. I mean, that's a 1/4 ton Nile crocodile right there. When you capture a problem crocodile, when you capture a nuisance animal, many times you have to carry it very far to a truck. Hands on
instead of just untying it and letting it run back to the water, everyone's gonna pick up the crocodile and we're gonna take it through the woods to the water on the other side. And we'll release it over there.
Halfway there, come on.
Right here, down. Woo!
Now comes the most dangerous part of the capture.
All right, I'm gonna let the rangers release it.
Yeah.
See what kind of students you are. Remember the danger zone.
Yes.
Now what you're gonna have to do is we're gonna cut this and remove this.
Yes.
And then once you release it, you know, you've got to untwirl that. Okay, you ready to switch?
Yeah.
Okay.
Brady offers Big John a last reminder
Now, yeah, John, Big John.
and a warning.
You're gonna count to 3, and then on 3, you and Little John are gonna jump this way.
Yeah.
You're gonna be right here. You're gonna undo the jaws, and hopefully it's gonna go this way. If it comes after you, run. I'm really nervous. Hey, put that leg back down. John, put that leg down. Put that leg down. That thing will whip over there and bite you. Okay, John, you're counting whenever you guys want to go, and you're coming this way.
2, 3.
Oh, John.
You have left the rope.
John, you left the rope. That's pretty good, though. Anytime you get off a crocodile and no one gets eaten, it's a good day. Oh, someone's shoe is underneath. Somebody lose a shoe? I thought, oh, that scares me when I see a human, somebody's shoe underneath it. We'll get your shoe back in just a second.
Oh, yeah.
Brady shows the rangers how to finish the release.
I'm going to turn him back this way, and he's going to go to the water. Is that an amazing animal or what? Yeah, you guys did it! Yeah, successfully captured and released a big crocodile. You guys did it! Woo! Yeah, man! Yeah. Wait, did you get your shoe back? All right, we got your shoe back. We didn't lose a man. That was great, guys. Now we're headed to Lake Victoria, to the problem area, where people are losing their lives to these big aggressive crocodiles. These man-eaters, as you know, are a lot more difficult to catch than these animals here in the national park.
Yeah.
Let's get out of here.
Oh, that's great.
Next morning, the mission to capture a killer begins. The team travels southeast from Murchison Falls back to the village of Namani on Lake Victoria, a place where danger lurks in the water. For years, villagers have lived in fear of man-eaters that emerge suddenly, attack quickly, and then vanish back into the water.
We shall go with the canoe up to the point where the local communities are telling us they have been seeing the crocodile.
Peter explains the plan to set baited snare traps on the water. Given the topography, it'll work better than hunting the animal with a snare pole.
If it's there and it eats the bait, that one will be trapped. Oh, I think we can now go.
All right, well, let's go. We're running out of daylight.
They're off to capture a giant crocodile, one that's bigger, smarter, and more aggressive than those at Murchison Falls.
Push the boat!
They set out in 2 canoes, identical to the fishing boats man-eaters are used to seeing on the lake. The same type of boats that have been attacked in the past.
All right, we got a couple hours of daylight left. We're gonna run out and try to set some snare traps. We'll set as many traps as we can around this village where there have been many fatal attacks on humans. And they're taking people from the boats.
Yeah.
They knock the boats over and then eat the people?
Yeah, like that one we seated behind.
Yeah.
The last person comes and picks that one, dives back with him.
Well, I'm glad I'm the first person.
Dives back with him in water.
From the canoe, Brady sees a key reason why crocs become man-eaters.
People have completely denuded this area of natural prey. There really aren't any animals, and they've overfished the lake. So the crocodiles really don't have anything else to eat other than domestic wildlife or people.
They come to an area where a man-eater has been spotted. Here, they'll place the first of 5 traps, some using Peter's technique, others using Brady's.
Peter's perfected a technique where he floats the snare with pieces of meat on it, and then the crocodile comes in and bites it, snares itself as it swims away. And so that's beef lung. That's very smelly. That is so bad. I mean, I cannot describe to you the stench. We'll see. I think the crocodile will prefer mine chicken to your cow lung. That looks good. Not as good as my chicken snare, but not bad. The chicken needs to be right there. I like to dangle my bait above the water so the crocodile sees it, jumps up, bites it, and snares itself as he comes down.
Brady first tried his chicken bait trap during an expedition in Mozambique.
That was great.
Back then, it worked like a charm.
We got one! Yeah, baby! The trap worked! Woo-hoo-hoo! Man, I knew the chicken trap would work. It's right on the upper jaw, just like it's supposed to be.
So we'll see which the crocodiles like better, the beef lung or the Brady chicken. In the past, when I would be trying to set snares for crocodiles, I wouldn't even consider this area because there's not a tree to tie the rope to. These are actually floating plants. But Peter has told me that it's possible to tie it to this papyrus, and it's strong enough to hold the crocodile. Yeah. Okay, I'll believe it when I see it. It looks good. It looks tasty.
Their snare trap set, they head back to the village for the night, passing an old fisherman.
So he saw the croc. These man-eating crocodiles around these villages are just like phantoms. You never see them during the daytime. You don't see them. They remain hidden, and then they strike quickly at night.
The next morning, they head back to the boats.
One of the fishermen went out early this morning and came back with some good news. Said not only is there one crocodile, but he said we have 2 crocodiles in our trap. We're getting ready to find out. We're gonna go check the trap.
With word they've snared 2 crocodiles, Brady and the team head out to the traps.
The first trap's right up here. Yes, yeah. Hey, now we're approaching the first trap. We don't know if there's a crocodile on this rope or not. Oh, I see it. I see it. It's right here. Oh. No, there's
Peter's first cow lung trap is untouched.
Okay.
So too is Brady's chicken beta trap.
First 2 traps, nothing. We're coming up on trap number 3, 3 of 5. I see the rope right there. Rope right in front of us.
Yep, there's something on it.
With the line taut, there's every reason to think a crocodile is at the end of the rope.
I'm gonna pull the crocodile up. You try to get this on the upper jaw. That's a huge crocodile if it's a croc.
They could be moments away from encountering an angry man.
Careful, 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 careful.
Then, disappointment.
Wait.
Just cut the wire. It was a croc.
Just cut the wire. The crocodile was on our rope and broke the rope. And that rope is very strong. Oh. Well, let's continue. We have 2 more traps. Let's go check them. It's just heartbreaking. You just don't get that many chances to catch these giant man-eaters, and that's why they're so big. I mean, they're good at escaping and avoiding capture.
They move on toward another of Peter's cow lung baited traps.
That's where our trap is.
In front, that's it.
Do you see it?
Not yet.
You see the rope?
Within the papyrus reeds, Little John feels a tug.
He's here.
He's pulling?
Yes, he's pulling.
See, there's the snare. There's the snare. Okay. Hang on just a second. We have the end of the snare, which means the crocodile is just 2.5 feet beneath our hands. Hang on to that rope. Okay, wait, he's coming out. He's coming out. He's here. He's huge. Right there. Get him right there. Come on, this is it, Peter. Get him.
To Brady and Peter, a croc this size is a man-eater. Brady snares the croc's upper jaw, which is the length of his arm, and hints at the animal's immense size.
Thing is huge. That's got to be 4 meters, 4.5 meters. What do you think? 4.5 meters? Hey, wait, hey, stop. No celebrating yet. We have not captured this animal. He can still turn us up. I mean, you laugh. His jaws are still free. He can turn the boat over. He can take one of you out of the boat. Let's make sure we get the jaw secured, then we'll celebrate. All right, here he comes. There, pull. Oh, it came off.
The struggle pits men against a monster.
We're running out of ropes.
But unlike the mythic stories, it's not a fight to the death.
Around its own jaws.
Instead, 2 battles are going on.
Here.
One to capture the man-eater and secure its jaws to keep the men safe. Another to keep the animal alive.
Pull it up.
Brady knows the longer they struggle, the greater the chances of lactic acid poisoning, killing the croc.
I know. There we go. Pull it out. Pull it out.
Brady can't secure the jaws with the animal so close to the boat.
Hurry.
You press down and open.
Pull it away from the boat.
Close it.
There, now I'm gonna tie this rope.
Pull it away from the boat.
We got about a dozen men.
Don't put it away.
6 ropes.
Just away like this.
This thing is sometimes it's just so stressful because it's such a dangerous animal. I mean, I'm just shaking. And I've worked on crocodiles for 20 years. Okay.
Pull it closer.
There you go. Perfect. Hold it right there with its chin on the boat. Hold it right there. Don't let it spin. Pull its chin up if you can once it stops spinning. You need to pull it up and away from the boat just for 1 minute and I can
While a plastic tie is holding the croc's jaws shut for now, tape is more effective.
Keep it there. Keep it there.
Finally, the croc is no longer a threat. Back in the village, people gather on shore, anxious to hear that a killer is captured. But out on the lake, there's a life still at risk. While Brady and Peter have captured a man-eater in Lake Victoria, its life is in danger.
The crocodile is so big and we're so far from shore, we don't know how we're going to transport it back. It's too big for us to paddle. Many times when you drag a crocodile, its lungs fill with water and it drowns. We don't want to kill this animal. This animal's probably 80, 90 years old. Pull it up out of the water. 1, 2, 3, pull up. Let's tie the tail and the head to this boat, and we're going to have our big boat tow our boat back to the village. That's the safest thing for the croc.
The rangers see up close a beast that spread terror along the lake.
Nice throw.
It's strong enough?
Yeah, it's strong enough.
They lash the croc's massive body to the side of the canoe. Then they'll be towed to the village.
Okay, is that tight? Man, hey, it's missing much of its tail. It's not going to be as long as it should be. So this would be the 3rd largest.
The 3rd largest, yeah.
3rd largest crocodile, Peter's capture. Well, we need to measure it. Let's wait till we measure it.
Yeah.
On the way back to the village, there's a moment to celebrate.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
We did it!
We did it.
You told me we'd do it. Hey, man, you told me you'd do it. Hey, and we caught it on beef lung.
Beef lung, improved techniques.
Yeah, man, you're teaching me techniques. I'm supposed to be here teaching the Rangers techniques. Man, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm going to go home and I'm going to use beef lung.
Yeah.
Loving it.
Oh, wonderful.
A hero's welcome awaits them back at the village.
And we got half the village out. This is a big moment for them. I mean, we captured their monster. This is the thing of their nightmares.
But there's more work to be done.
Let's pull it up this way. Yeah. Pull it like this way.
As the team pulls the croc onto the shore, pandemonium erupts.
Yikes, man, we got some serious crowd control issues here. Hey. All right, now the Rangers are gonna use what they've learned, what I taught them in the national park. We're gonna secure the legs, and then we're gonna try to pick this beast up and get it out of here.
For the villagers, this is as close to a deadly croc as they'll get and live.
Now's the time I love. We're gonna put a tape measure on this big boy. So let's do it. You sit here and I'll measure it. I'm coming under you. Okay, here. Hand right here. Make sure we don't. Right here. Hand. Peter, 4.6 meters. 4.6. That's 15 feet and 1 ton of giant crocodile. The beautiful thing about the UWA, the Uganda Wildlife Authority, is they've decided they don't want to destroy these rogue animals, these nuisance crocs. They want to relocate them. They see the value, the genetic value in these giant animals. So we're getting ready to put this on a truck, and we're going to take it to a protected area, and we're going to release it unharmed back into the wild. Is that beautiful? Yeah, buena! Woo!
Before releasing it back into the wild, the croc must be prepared for the journey.
Keep coming, keep coming, keep coming.
The truck moves to a temporary station where Brady and the Rangers help the croc recover from the capture.
All right, we've now got the animal in the shade. The biggest danger is it overheating. These big animals can't control their body temperature. They're ectotherms. They control their body temperature through behavioral changes. So they slide into the water or they crawl into the shade. Since we've captured it, that's now our job. Little John, can we get more water to pour on the animal?
We just need a little bit.
Peter, are you making a spider web?
Yeah.
A very large spider web.
Yeah.
We're gonna tie it up, safe and secure, and then we're gonna start the journey to the protected area where we're gonna release it.
1 hour later, the man-eater leaves Namouni with the Rangers, on its way to a new home in the Murchison Falls Wildlife Preserve. On Brady's return to America, he flies over the preserve and takes a moment to reflect.
Wherever crocodiles and humans coexist, problems can arise. But with the capture and relocation program in place, you'll protect the animals and save human lives. And that's a great solution.
The African hippo. Up to 3 tons of raw, charging power. Capturing this beast is the ultimate challenge. But Brady Barr's trying a new strategy.
Now this sounds dangerous.
One that could help wildlife experts catch and relocate this massive animal.
Safety's off.
He'll bring it down with a net. He'll test the system on Florida gators and African warthogs.
He's got 1 tusk in it.
Working up to the big moment.
Oh, he's coming up, he's coming up. Go.
Getting his hands on a hippo. Biologist Brady Barr has a history with hippos.
Go. Man, my heart just stopped.
More than once, he's tried to get up close and personal with this massive beast.
This leg is stuck.
careful. And had to beat a retreat. There he goes. And he's not alone. In Africa, the hippo's said to be responsible for more deaths than any other mammal on the continent. The only way for scientists to get close is to use a powerful sedative. But dart a hippo, and the danger is he'll retreat to water and drown. So Brady's on a mission. He wants to catch a hippo using a net.
Either net launchers or net guns. You're gonna be able to subdue the animal quickly, incapacitate it before it gets to the water, and safely be able to capture it.
Brady's starting his quest not in Africa, but here in southern Florida. Because before he goes another round with a hippo, he wants to test the idea on a familiar adversary.
Oh, there's a gator right there, see it?
The gator. Like the hippo, the alligator is semi-aquatic and has a similar flight response. It escapes into water. So this experiment will give Brady a chance to see how a large animal responds to being netted on land.
Yeah, here's some water up here.
He's brought in the A-team.
Let's see if we see anything here.
So this would be a great place for a net launcher. Brian, we could put one here, right?
Netman Brian Bedrosian.
Here, maybe two here. If you put it right on the edge of the water.
How big is the mesh?
And gator trapper Lee Lightsey. Brady's idea is to plant a remotely fired device that will shoot a net over the gators while they're out on land.
Now, you can't see them now because it's high noon and it's hot. But later this afternoon and tomorrow morning, these things are all going to be out basking in the sun to try to raise their body temperature because it gets cool at night. Too cold for gators.
He wants to set traps in a couple of different locations. So Lee heads out to find basking spots, while Brady test fires the weapon of choice, a net launcher.
Brian, maybe you can remind me. Let's go over how the net launcher works again, just so I'm sure what's going to happen. We use a remote control to fire the net. How far away can we be?
So about a half mile to a mile.
Yeah. That's great.
This is the launcher unit. This is the projectile that's going to fly out of the launcher. There's 3 of them that are attached to the front of the net. These will all fire simultaneously with these 22 blanks.
So it's the explosion. The powder explosion propels our weights up into the air, and the net is attached to the weights.
Exactly. So here's the trigger mechanism. It'll fire and release all these simultaneously to hit the firing pins. Then you take a couple of the blanks here, and one blank goes in each one of these units.
So these are 22 blanks. There's no bullet. It's just a powder charge.
Exactly. So there'll be a little pop.
When they hear that pop, they're going to go for the water. So we're going to have to find out if the net's quicker than the gators.
Exactly. All right, we got it all loaded up. I'm going to take the safety off, and we'll just get out of range.
Okay.
And remotely fire it.
Okay.
Great. Just hold this down, and then when you're ready, just flip that switch, and it'll go.
Okay.
Let's do it.
1, 2, 3. Whoa! Wow, that looks great.
The net launcher is ready to go, and Lee's found gators.
These animals are concentrated in these little pockets and pools of water. I mean, look, there's one right here. No, look, right here. See him? See him in the middle there? I mean, this is a perfect basking site. I think we ought to put it right here. And then when these gators come out and bask,
I set the gun up somewhere over here.
yeah, right over here, and we'll shoot it from water back over to land. Because, I mean, you can see the tail drags. I mean, they're basking way up here, like 15 feet from the water. This is a perfect spot for it.
Put that thing down. Let's get out of here.
They'll leave the net launcher overnight so the gators get used to it. Then, when they come out for their morning bask, the crew will return and trigger the trap.
Brady, this idea you've got, this is going to be off the chain. I mean, to catch 4 or 5 gators, you know, one gator a lot of times whoops you. Sometimes you have to call me. I've came in before and you've been in distress and helped you. So we're going to put 5 alligators in a net.
Well, that's where you're wrong. I'm hoping for 14 or 15 alligators in a net. I want the mother load. I think it's going to work. You wait and see. We're going to have them. We may not catch them all, but I think they'll all be under the net. It's going to be mass hysteria trying to grab these snapping gators and get them secured.
I mean, this may be a crazy idea.
I got a feeling all we're gonna do is tear stuff up.
We've done that before and we're good at that. Let's get out of here. We don't want to disturb these animals.
Lee may be skeptical, but if it works on gators, net technology could ultimately be the key to safely capturing hippos.
In this day and age, in terms of big game capture, it's pretty much been figured out. You can drug the animal, just dart it, walk right up to it, whether it's a lion or a buffalo. But there are a couple animals which are still problems, these semi-aquatic beasts like the hippopotamus. Because if you do dart them, they run into the water and drown and you lose them.
Right.
So I really think this might work to capture them before they get to the water.
Right.
And I'm really excited to try these new techniques out because this really is the last frontier.
What happens if you shoot a hippo with a net and I'm not there with you?
Well, then we'll catch it twice as fast.
Brady wants to set the second trap in a location with bigger gators, and Lee's got just the place.
Oh, there's a gator right there. See it?
Yeah, he's a big one.
Yeah, this is exactly what I'm talking about. See that big one with the stuff on his back?
This is where the big boys hang out.
You couldn't ask for a better basking site. Look, these are marks of all giant gators that have come up here and laid in the sun. Check, oh my gosh, check this out. This is a back foot. There's the back of the foot. There's the tip of the toe. That thing is 3 of my hands long. So I think we fire one net this way, but then we have the other one fire it over this way so we have an overlap.
2 nets on the one gator?
Yes.
Brady wants to see how a gator will respond to being netted, whether it will trigger aggression, fear, or flight.
More than likely, he's just going to lunge in the water with the net. All we can hope for is to get just tangled up in it.
Look, that net's not going to stop him. But what I'm hoping is it's going to slow him down long enough for us to come in and get a rope around his neck or get him by the tail.
Yeah. Brady, how come I got stuck carrying all the heavy stuff?
I'm carrying the delicate gear.
It's getting dark. The team needs to rig this site and leave.
We don't want to be here after dark with these gators. This is ground zero right here. If they're here, they're ours. Both nets, boom, boom.
It's morning in the Florida swamp. Time to net a gator.
All right, the sun's up. The sun just peeked over the horizon. Those gators are cold. It was a long, cold night here in Central Florida. They're crawling up. They want to warm themselves in the sun. We need to make sure that there's a gator in the proper spot in our strike zone. You want to go take a peek? Or what? Ease up slowly.
If everything goes to plan, they'll have a monster gator just waiting to be netted. But nothing ever does.
They need to warm up. They want to come out. They definitely want to come out.
One gator comes out onto land.
One's coming out. See the eyes? Here it comes. See it? He's coming out. Yeah, he's coming. Oh, there he goes.
But something spooks it.
I think they see them boxes.
I think they do too.
See that shiny stuff?
I think they do too.
They don't get that big by being stupid.
If these gators aren't falling for it, what are the chances it'll work on a hippo? But they're not done yet. Before it gets too hot, the team needs to check the second trap. And as soon as they hit the spot, they see they've struck gold.
Hey, we got gators. There's like 4 or 5. Great. Ready? Oh, there's another one over here. We got 6, yeah. When you fire it, do you want me to get the big one? I'll get the big one. We're gonna get them all. Don't you worry about that. They're in our target. Man, it looks good. I think we'll get all of them if they stay there. Okay. Don't get bitten. Do not get bitten. Let us off till you guys do. Yeah. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1. Go! Woohoo! We got him!
The nets worked.
Watch it.
We got them all! Yeah, we got them all, man! I told you it would work! Look, I don't even think. Woo! Maybe he does know he's been captured. We need to help. Oh, man. That thing almost got me on those pegs.
And an unexpected twist. Instead of trying to flee into the water, the gators seem stunned.
They're not acting like they're not going too far. Well, you know, it's a cool day, which is in our favor. They did not want to go into the water. They want to stay out here in the sun and thermoregulate.
I think they're entangled. I don't think they can get away.
I don't think they can either. Man, look at that. I thought it'd take us all day, and I thought they'd tear the net up. And you tell me if that one's coming.
He's coming my way. Watch him.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Well, these gators are about 6 or 7 feet long, but if these things got a hold of you,
I got this one.
Man, you would not get it off your arm. Look at that. Oh. Look at that. It just wants you to put something in there. What's that one over there? Whoa.
The gators respond to the humans, but not the net itself.
Can you grab him by the tail?
Oh, he's watching you.
I know.
He wants you bad. He does. He knows you're the Brady Bar, the crocodilian catcher.
Ooh.
This is the result Brady was hoping for. A simple net has immobilized the gators on land, making capture less dangerous for both man and animal.
That's great. Success. Man, that's the first time that's ever been done. We just made history in the croc catching world. Caught multiple gators with a net launcher. That is awesome. Whoa!
Brady's demonstrated you can catch a gator with a net. But now, he's got to apply this technique to a hippo, a massive, aggressive beast that moves fast on land. If Brady wants to net a hippo, they'll have to learn to run and gun. Hippos were once widespread throughout sub-Saharan Africa, but decades of habitat loss and poaching have wiped out healthy populations in key areas. Brady's traveling to Lwande National Park in Malawi to team up with 2 experts in the field of transporting big game, Dr. Andre Ice and Kester Vickery.
There's some more crocs there. There's a bunch of crocs there on the left.
Their mission, relocate hippos into areas where they've been hunted out of existence. But first, they have to catch them. And a net could be the answer. But instead of a launcher,
so I'll show you on the net gun. Here's the net gun.
They'll use a gun.
Wow, that's heavy.
Yeah, it's
really heavy.
Yeah, so you open the chamber,
right.
You stick a blank charge. It fires exactly like a rifle would fire, except it hasn't got a bullet. But the pressure that's used to normally push a bullet through the barrel is forced out of the chamber and into these 4 barrels.
So a weight goes in each one of these barrels. The explosion, the force of the explosion goes up the barrel, propelling the weights out like bullets.
Absolutely.
And since these are at various angles, that's what opens the net.
And it opens and deploys the net as it opens up.
And you hold it in this
The
fashion.
reason the team needs to use a gun is that they can't just walk up to a 2-ton hippo. They'll have to deploy the net from a helicopter.
So this is the bucket. This is what goes.
It's a fiberglass bucket. Obviously, weight is a problem, you know. So
yeah,
it's fiberglass for a reason, but it's got to be quite robust, you know.
So imagine packing the net. It's probably like packing a parachute. It's the key to the whole operation.
Absolutely. You can't wind it up. It's got to be flat.
So you just kind of fold it over itself, and then at the end...
It takes an expert to shoot a moving hippo out of a chopper. So the team decides to try out the device on a smaller animal, the warthog. First, a little target practice.
Okay. All right,
okay, now it's good to go. Yes, it's good to go. Safety's off. Okay, we're gonna say that stick, and I've placed a small camera on the ground, that's gonna be the warthog. I'm gonna approach it like this, and then it's like this, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And fire it when I come up with my hand.
Yes.
All right, you guys got me nervous on this. And it's gonna kick a lot, right?
It's gonna kick quite a bit.
Okay, I'm gonna try it. Count of 3.
Kicks like a horse.
Oh my gosh. 1, 2, 3.
Good one.
Kind of overshot it.
No, that was actually that's right.
When the warthog hears the noise, it's gonna instinctively run away and run into my net.
Absolutely. So you want to try and be up and over the pig.
Uh-huh.
What do you think of the kick?
Yeah, it kicks. It kicks like a mule. That's all right. Yeah, I can do that. All right, let's reload this baby. I'm ready to go after a warthog. All right.
The warthog. The teams picked this feisty wild pig because in some ways, it's a mini hippo. Short legs, stocky, compact torso, and a front end armed to the teeth.
We have warthogs running around here over my shoulder. A group of warthogs is called a sounder. I always like that term. But we'll find a group of warthogs and try to isolate one and see if we can capture it.
But it won't be easy. Like the hippo, they're fast, clocking up to 30 miles per hour on land, as Brady quickly finds out.
I just can't move quickly. I mean, this gun probably weighs, I don't know, 50, 60 pounds. I can't run after him with this. It's too dangerous. We're gonna have to sneak up on one.
First try, a miss.
That one hurt.
And the second.
Oh, it hit the grass.
And third. But Brady's got the technique down. And finally.
We got him, we got him! Oh, he's got one tusk in it. Whoa! He's got our net! Warthog ran off with the net. The last I saw him, he went over the horizon, caught on one tusk. Still going. I've run 300 meters. John's got the net. Thank goodness we didn't lose the net. But was it a pretty good shot? Did it go over him?
Yeah, he just had it the one tusk. I think it was a good shot. I think just a bit unlucky.
And
yeah.
Where's the pig? Hey, where's the pig? He's about 4K that way.
Well, we got the net there. That's the important part.
The Warthogs have won this round. But late afternoon, the team gets a call. A report of warthogs harassing a local camp. The team mobilizes to put their net gun into action. A warthog in the camp is no joke. Behind this comical face is a battering ram armed with tusks. No job for a beginner.
Man, the net gun has literally brought me to my knees every time I fired it, and I haven't been real successful. So I'm turning it over to the expert. Andre, it's all on your shoulders now.
I've had more luck than you.
Let's head up here closer to the camp. We've gotten reports that there's some pigs milling around some of these buildings. With a little luck and an expert on the gun, we may get a warthog. Here, why don't you lead the way? This is very close to the camp, very close to the camp. We have a building right here, and we got 2 pigs. I've been told that these pigs like to hang out around the camp because they know they're safe from lions, which is their big predator.
Great for warthogs, not so good for people. A cornered warthog can be highly aggressive. The team needs to immobilize this pig fast. The perfect test for the net gun.
This is it. Andre's gonna take the shot. Did you get him?
We've got to pull this net. Just pull the net. That's what we do. There we go. Get him up.
There we go.
Grab his back legs. Grab his back legs, Brady.
Yeah. I'm working on it.
Yeah. Just lift his other back leg.
Pig down.
Lift his other leg.
This one's caught in the net.
Okay, that's fine. Let me just undo the net here. We can have some sort of...
Okay, I've got him. Woo! It worked. We caught a warthog with a net gun. Great shot, man. Look at those tusks. That is one dangerous looking animal. Woo!
For the team to use this method on a hippo, they'll have to sedate the animal as soon as it's netted.
Just hold it.
Oh.
Remember, he's strong though, but...
Yeah, man, he is strong. I can't imagine a hippo. Hippo's gonna be a lot stronger than this.
I wonder if you with your other hand...
This thing probably weighs what?
60, 70 kilos, maybe 100, 120, 150 pounds, but it's all you can do to hold on to it. I can't imagine what a 2,000 or 3,000 pound hippo is gonna be like.
Next step, escort the intruder off the premises. But first, they'll have to disarm him.
So Andre, tell me what you're doing. You're securing the business end,
securing
right?
the sharp end.
Those tusks are outside the mouth.
Outside the mouth, and you must remember that he can move his head extremely quickly.
And those things are razor sharp.
Absolutely.
These guys are called warthogs because of these thick pads found on their face. These things that look like giant warts. Give them this ugly looking appearance. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Man, that is a handful. Whoa, 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 what's the tusks? You want me to get the legs?
We need the legs, guys.
I got the rope. I've got the rope.
The net.
I got the rope. As I was saying, those things are razor sharp. If they're anything like feral hogs in the States, which I've had a little experience with, those tusks are just like box cutters. I mean, they will cut you to the bone. The tusks oppose each other, the upper and the lower, which continually sharpens them. It's just like sharpening a pocket knife on a whetstone. And they may not look sharp, but I can tell you firsthand, razor sharp.
Okay, let's go now, guys. Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Trussed up and secured, this pig is ready for transport. The team drives the warthog a safe distance from camp and humans.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Okay, all right, let's stop here, guys.
The net gun has worked.
You got it? You sure?
But it's also shown them just how dangerous it'll be to handle a hippo.
The vehicle as possible.
So what do you guys think after this little experiment? You think we're going to be able to subdue a hippo in a net?
It's going to be
he laughs. That probably says it all right there. I don't like the sound of that.
Just let me get this off here.
Hey, now in your experience, when you release these things, do they look for a little payback?
Sometimes, if they feel cornered, they'll definitely go for you.
We don't want to lose a man on the warthog, because I think for the hippo, we're going to need every man we got.
Okay, now the important thing is it's back legs, eh? That's all right, so I'm going to move back now.
Are you going to get on the vehicle?
Okay. We need to loosen the rope now.
You want the stick? Do you need the stick? No. So you're not going to release those legs till Andre gets on the vehicle.
Yeah, okay, drop the rope.
Man.
Drop the...
It's still caught.
Okay.
Where's that stick? Careful, man, careful! That thing is so lightning fast, yeah.
Okay, Andre,
okay, he's free.
All right, you go.
Hey, now, can this thing jump up in here?
Yes, let's run. I'm kidding.
Whoa!
There you go. That's a successful release.
You were there, man. Oh.
He's got some speed even after.
Unbelievable. Look, I thought by catching the warthog, it was going to give us confidence, at least give me confidence that we'd be able to tackle a hippo. I'm not very confident. That thing took every bit of grit and muscle we had, and it was so fast. There at the end, it swung its head. It almost got you.
Unbelievably quick, huh?
I think the big difference is going to be, as you pointed out, we're gonna drug the hippo.
Absolutely. I mean,
there's no way we could tackle a hippo without drugging it, right?
No, I mean, you can't. It's just too strong to handle. I mean, the idea is to immobilize it in the net just so that it can't get back into the water.
Let's head back to camp. Let's sit down and formulate a really good plan before we tackle the hippo.
Absolutely.
That was great, though. Man, exciting. I guarantee you I couldn't hold a hippo by the legs.
It's day 2 of the experiment. The crew is about to try their first ever capture of an adult hippo using the net gun technique. Like the gator, the hippo leaves the river at certain times of the day, in this case, to feed. It ranges up to 6 miles away to graze on grass. That's when the team will make their move, while the hippo's away from water. But it won't be easy. Step 1, pilot Barney O'Hara needs to position the helicopter over the animal so Andre can take a shot with the net gun. A highly dangerous maneuver.
I have to get the helicopter into a position where it's slightly banked so that the skid's out the way, but not banked so much that the weight's going to hit the rotor.
Step 2, when the hippo's netted, Andre will follow up with a tranquilizer dart. a new drug combination designed to subdue the animal, but not knock it out. So if the hippo does make it back to the water, it won't drown. Finally, Brady and the ground team move in to secure the hippo.
Yeah. When we arrive, what will we do? Do we run up to the hippo, or do we stay back until the hippo's out?
I'll let you know when you can come in.
Okay.
Obviously, there's always a risk, even though the immobilization drugs take at least 10 minutes to be effective. And we certainly don't want people running in from all directions when the thing's not properly immobilized.
Is it safe to say this is a dangerous animal?
It's a bloody dangerous animal.
So I guess that says it all right there. All right.
Ready or not, it's go time.
I'm very happy I'm not in the helicopter. But we're going to be on the ground up close and personal with an animal which is my demon, the thing I'm most afraid of.
We're going to be on the business end of the hippo.
Yeah, big angry hippo.
This won't be the first time Brady's tried to get close to a hippo. In an earlier project, he risked life and limb to measure the bite force of a captive male. And the experience left him in awe of this powerful animal.
And we're talking about an animal which can weigh 3 to 4 tons, can run like the wind, and has a bad attitude, and that all adds up to potential trouble. Many people are killed each year by hippos.
I think more than any other animal in Africa, if I've got it right.
Yeah, that's what you hear.
This is a high-stakes operation for Kester and his team. Their ultimate goal is to reintroduce the hippo to parts of Africa where it's been hunted out of existence. But for that, they'll need a safe and effective capture method.
With hippos, basically the last large land mammal that hasn't been cracked. There's passive ways of moving them, but there's not an efficient way to actively catch them.
So if the new net gun technique works, it could revolutionize hippo capture. Meanwhile, Barney makes a sweep of the area, looking for an adult hippo on open ground, not too close to the water. And he finds one, an adult, about 2 tons.
Okay, Kester, I've got a hippo here.
Hippo!
Okay, tell us when we can come in. So we're going to carry on the road. We can hear you, but we can't see you. So you'll need to guide us in first.
Just keep heading north.
Okay, we're coming.
So
Harry,
now
you
we've
got
got to
that,
find
Harry.
his location.
Carry on, Harry. Thanks, man.
All right, the helicopter, Barney's hovering over the hippo, correct?
Absolutely, yeah. He's got a hippo there. He's just been pushing it to the helicopter, trying to get it in a big enough space to be able to use the net gun.
The hippo's away from the water.
Oh, yes, we're looking good. We're looking good. He's going to do it.
But it outsmarts them.
Kester, it's gone undercover.
What did he say? The hippo was too clever? It ran under the trees?
Ran in a bunch of big trees, so to fire the net was impossible.
Barney spots a group of hippos in the river and decides to try a new strategy. Herd them away from the water.
There's a bunch of hippos up here, but they're still in the water. Looks like a swampy area, like a wetland. Yeah, I see it.
He manages to isolate one.
I've got one. He's moving away from the water. Come quicker, come quicker.
What does that mean? It's getting out?
We're coming.
Oh, careful. Hang on.
Let's go a little bit, Harry. Go 50 yards and stop.
But this one also escapes.
Lost him. Repeat, lost him. He's gone under.
Okay, we're going to look for another one because it could stay down for ages.
They've given up on this hippo. It's submerged. These guys can hold their breath for a long time, 30 minutes. Come up, take a quick breath, and go right back down. We need a hippo on land. One in the water is not going to do us any good. So the chopper's off looking for another hippo. That's a shame.
The day is warming up. They're running out of time. Soon, all the hippos will be cooling off in the water, and netting will be impossible. But then...
Okay, get loaded up again. There's some behind you. You see him?
Oh, it's out of the water. It's perfect. Look at that. Look at that.
The ideal opportunity. Barney carefully angles the chopper so the net won't catch on the skids or the rotors. Andre has a clear shot.
Yeah, we got it! We got it! Go, go, go! Go, he's down! He's down!
Brady and the team have to get to the hippo as fast as they can to be there when Andre darts it. Like the gators, the hippo seems stunned by the net.
Oh, the hippo's staggering. Oh.
But now the ground crew hits a problem.
Look at this stuff.
Gonna get stuck here. Go ahead, go. Oh.
Team down.
Guys, we're gonna have to get off and push. Let's hope everyone get off. Everyone get off. Are the wheels in lock?
We're stuck. We tried to get to the hippo and we're stuck in the mud.
It's a bitter frustration. Their first ever attempt to net a hippo has worked. The animal is confused and immobilized, but the ground crew can't get to him. Andre doesn't want to dart the hippo until they're in place, but if he doesn't do it soon, it will almost certainly get out of the net.
Now we're in a real dilemma. We got a hippo with a net on it, we got the vehicle stuck in the mud, and we're exposed out here.
Andre decides to go ahead and dart the hippo. But as soon as he does, it slips out of the net. Now they'll have to follow the animal and wait for the sedative to kick in.
The hippo's been darted. It's out of the net, though.
Okay, stand on the back, guys, stand on the back.
Okay, we're free. We're free.
They finally get the truck out of the mud.
We're following.
The drugs should take about 10 minutes to act. But the hippo is still on its feet, and Andre sees the problem.
Guys, the dart hasn't gone off. Repeat, the dart hasn't gone off.
The dart hasn't released the sedative. Andre decides to use a second dose. But now the hippo's reached the water.
He's gone into the water. He's in the water.
Cody, bring the rifle, okay? Okay, let's get off, let's get off.
Okay, we're at the spot, we're at the spot.
Let's go, guys.
It's the worst case scenario, but a true test of the new drug combo. In theory, it subdues the animal without shutting down its breathing reflex. If it doesn't work, this hippo could drown. It is working. The hippo's breathing normally and in no immediate danger. The same can't be said for the crew. It's not just the angry, unrestrained hippo they have to worry about. These waters are filled with crocodiles.
There was one monster crocodile in this alley here, so it did go out. Just be careful of other crocs. A monster. Yeah, let's come around and we try and dance our rope on him. I can see both darts here. We must just be very aware that he doesn't come barging out the water to this side. I just want to get Harry in a position with a gun.
Despite being darted twice, the hippo is still a real threat.
Oh, just be careful, he's still awake, huh? Careful, come.
Oh, he's coming up, he's coming up. Go, 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 go.
Going back the other way,
No, no, yeah, he's going the other way, he's going the other way.
Come, let's keep an eye on him.
Now, man, we have got a really spooky situation. We have got a very large, dangerous animal just somewhere in these woods. We have pockets of water, pockets of thick brush. We don't know where it's at, but we got to find it.
You shouldn't have taken your eyes off him.
Chasing us.
Was he biting? We found him.
Negative.
I think, yeah, there's bush in front of me, yeah, if that makes any sense. I think here's where he is.
Came out right in here somewhere. This
is where it was coming after us. It was right in here. We brought one of the local guys. He's a tracker. He's going to try to pick up its spoor and see if we can follow it. Here? It's going this way? All right, he's picked up the spoor. Where is it? Right here? Going this way?
But we actually need to wait and follow the spoor.
Andre was adamant about us going with the tracker.
Look out for elephants, eh? Because this forest has always got elephants in it. They like this place, eh?
The crew can't abandon the animal without making sure it's safe.
So it could be close.
He's got a tracker sight.
Christopher's got it.
He's on it.
But that puts them in a highly dangerous position.
There's the hippo. I see it. I see it.
Up close and personal with an angry hippo.
Christopher, you're the man. You got it, man. That's good. We got the hippo.
The team has finally tracked down the hippo.
I can't pop a rope around his back legs. Let me just go there so I can get to the rope. Let's try and put a rope around his back legs.
So he's looking at us.
He'll go down again on his own and he'll start sleeping deeply again. Let's just stay on him. Guys, have you got all the ropes?
So what's going on? The first dart didn't go off at all. Only the second dart's gone off. But I must say, this is the highest dose I've ever given a hippo. We obviously have to go up much higher on these bigger bulls.
That's a big animal.
He's a big bull, though. This is a big adult bull, so we'll have to go a lot higher in the future.
So once we get it blindfolded, we can have, you actually have the animal standing up?
Absolutely, and then we can get a rope over his mouth so that he's safe.
He's going down.
So let's go and do our thing.
The moment of truth. The crew could be walking up to 2 tons of unrestrained hippo fury. There's only one way to find out.
Do me a favor. Come and touch him and see how he responds to touch.
Okay. Okay.
It's good for you to do it.
And finally, Brady gets his hands on a hippo.
Look how nicely he's sleeping. This is exactly like the other one is doing. He's really nicely out.
Nicely out.
What I found with the previous ones that I've done, I always try and approach them from the rear first and make sure that they're not too responsive to touch. However, when you go around the front, I can pretty much assure you he's going to respond. Really? Okay. But the fact
now they need to approach the business end and get a blindfold over the animal's eyes.
So he might come with his mouth open, but he's not going to bite hard and he's not going to be fast moving. So what I think you should do is you grab that side, I'll grab this side. We're going to sneak over.
Can they swing around like a croc?
They can, but not. He's going to be slow.
What do you mean? Don't let him see me.
Are his eyes open? Yep.
If the hippo suddenly comes to, there's a good chance he'll attack.
My eye's covered. Yes, it's covered.
Okay, remember, we're not 100% safe yet. Because of the drug combination, they still remain responsive to a large amount of stimuli.
That's some good shooting. One dart in each buttocks. That is great. You know what? For my entire career, I've worked around these animals. Since I work on crocs, I've never seen one up close and personal like this. I mean, these guys are just like phantoms of the night. I just get glimpses of them as they attack the boat over the years. Never touched one, never seen one this close.
Feel how greasy it is, eh?
It's incredible. It's an awesome animal. We have some rethinking in the net design, I think.
Oh man, I really thought he was in. I mean, that's why we put the dart in. He was caught in the net and that was it. I can't believe he got out.
It's an incredibly powerful animal.
A winning result. The animal is passive and quiet. At this point, a team could restrain the hippo, give it medical care, or load it onto a vehicle for transportation.
Andre, do you know what we can do? Let's get a rope over his mouth. And look at these wounds, how they've healed up. It's obviously been in a fight.
The secretions that come out of the skin have an antibiotic quality and also a sunscreen. Protect the animal from UV radiation and also prevent it from getting infected.
And now Brady gets to do something that few have ever done.
Oh, look at that. That tusk. That is a huge tusk.
There's one more thing Andre wants to try.
Brady, what we're gonna do now, you're gonna lift up that side of the head. I'm gonna lift up this side of the head.
Okay, all right.
Moving the dead weight of a heavily drugged hippo requires a lot of manpower.
That's what I think you can do. Stick a finger in the nostril. Are you kidding?
But with this lighter drug, there's a chance they can get a sedated hippo up and walking.
1, 2, 3, 4.
That is a heavy head.
Which would make moving a captured animal much easier.
Is it under?
Yeah, it's under. That's perfect. That's exactly where we want it. The whole length of
it.
rope.
Must go at least 2 meters down the rope.
Okay. Yeah, because in 2 feet it's gonna be on top of you.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's give it a bash, guys.
That thing comes.
Hey, we're going. Come on the shoulder here and just seat like we normally do runners, and I will stand here.
And this is so exciting because this stuff's never been done before. But that's what makes it so dangerous, because we're not sure what's going to happen.
I'm gonna move back till we move around.
Andre uses a controlled electric shock to help mobilize the animal.
Hey, and it's important to note that this isn't hurting the animal, it's just stimulating the muscles.
Absolutely.
Oh, the rope's free.
Right, the rope's
Whoa,
off.
the eyes are free too. The eyes are free.
Shh, quiet. Bring the brake rope, Harry.
Get away from the front. Just keep quiet. Get away from the front.
Okay, you're gonna reverse him now, Andre.
Everyone get away and keep quiet.
Move away quietly.
They'll walk.
Hey?
They'll walk.
I'm telling you, that's quite a way. Get your.
Whoa. Just be careful. Just, Kester, follow him. You'll go down again. Follow him.
Shh, go slowly, guys.
Follow him.
It's worked. In theory, the team could simply walk a subdued animal into a truck for transport. A huge advantage if you're trying to relocate large numbers of hippos.
Watch out, he's turning.
Get a rope on the leg, Kester.
But the team has taken enough chances today.
Because then he's going to run again. I can get half the antidote in before that happens.
It's time to revive this hippo. Andre will use a stimulant to counteract the sedatives.
So that's going to bring it back.
Absolutely, eh?
Just be wary. You could wake up at any time now.
Okay, guys, we just need to look sharp now, eh?
Time to make a run for it.
Okay, just be careful. That no track zone is working. Get away, everyone. Get away, everyone.
Ropes were? Get the ropes.
Where's Eric? Okay.
Collect our stuff.
Okay, he's awake.
Okay,
he's awake now. Very, very dangerous.
Harry,
Man, he almost got somebody. We got to go. He's awake. He's awake.
Guys, let's pick up all our stuff.
The team has safely captured a hippo.
Okay, look, we've shown that nut gunning for hippos is possible. It actually slowed them down long enough for Andre to dart it. We got our hands on the animal. We determined that you can get it on its feet and probably walk it out of here.
They've proved that the combination of net gun and drugs can work.
We've learned a great deal about capturing hippos. You know, one of the last true giant animals which capture hasn't been completely figured out. The real last frontier. And you guys are well on your way to being able to capture a large number of these things and safely move them from point A to point B.
I mean, if you think of what we've done in the last couple of days, we've had one immobilized after netting in the water, drugged, maintaining its breathing reflex, which is awesome.
For Andre and Kester, it means a way to reintroduce these remarkable animals to parts of the continent where they've been wiped out.
It's been awesome. This has been fantastic.
And for Brady, it's been the experience of a lifetime.
Just for me to get my hands on a wild hippo and live to tell about it, man, that's a dream come true.
Well, not many people get that.
You know what? I'm going to back off, so I'm sure that I'm going to live to tell about it.